Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the ultimate Kahuna. Hooray! Welcome aboard the Iron Seas. It is I, your host, the ultimate Kahuna, with my co-host, Mr. Jarrod Christman. Hello, my good friend, and our wonderful knitter guest, our crocheting guest, Miss Carrow Brown, or the Ripalorian. That's your other online?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because I cosplay as a Mandalorian, but I didn't Rippaverse colors, so I was called the Ripalorian. Well, and I'll be doing that this weekend over at SpaceCon again, so that'll be exciting.
Sweet.
I think I started following you when I just knew you as the Ripalorian, because I'm like a cool cosplay chick who's like doing Mandalorian. Yeah, I'm down. That's cool. And then I think it's like you posted some based opinion as well at some point. I'm like, all right.
I don't talk often on X, but when I do, I'm kind of like, I have a thought, and then I like throw it out there and I walk off. So
you're like walking, pull the pin, toss it, walk out of the room.
Yeah, my last one I posted was about feminism, so that's been doing very well.
The numbers, they're tremendous. Many such cases. Women hating on women has never been more popular, says.
Well, actually, I'm curious. How did your Run with Bitches campaign finish up?
She lost weight. My sweet baby girl. She's taking a nap over there, but we
did literal bitches.
Okay. Yeah. No, I started a thing called Run with Bitches, and it was just like it's one day I'll make it like an actual charity, but it started because I was looking at my girl dog.
I think Maji-chan said it best. Women suck. Also, she claimed that you were sexy, but I am clearly the most. This chatter thinks that I'm the most attractive. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Kitsy, my girl dog was looking a little heavy, and I was like, it's just time for 30 days for us to just take you out. And so we would go out for walks and jogs and all this kind of stuff. And she hated every second of it, but she lost about like 7 pounds, which is my goal. So she did good.
Hell yeah. No, that's good too. Plus it gives you gives the owner an excuse to walk as well. Like I'll walk our dog, like my parents' dogs or my dogs every now and again. And then now the kids are wanting to go with us. And no, it's a great time. I love a little like evening walk. It's great.
Yeah, so I'm going to make like little cards called the Run with Bitches Challenge. I'm going to hand them out to people, not at this convention, but like the next one, be like, have you run with a bitch today? You should.
Wait, I got to do this right. Do you have any bitches in your life? Have they been running enough recently? No. Absolutely. Today, we are the movie that we picked, and I believe we all got to see this time by Miss Carrow Brown, is the Good Will Hunting, the classic. One of the most singular films I've ever seen. Try to think of other movies like it. I struggle. Like even most of my favorite films of all time, there's something I can compare it to fairly easily. But with this film, I wouldn't say that's the case. But yeah, what made you pick that film, Carol?
It was actually funny because when I was waiting for you guys to send me the link, I was talking to my husband. He's like, "Have you even seen that movie?" And I was like, "Honey, I watched that movie all the time before we got married. Like that was like my Saturday ritual. Like grab some whiskey, watch Good Will Hunting. Like that's what I did."
Whiskey and Good Will Hunting. That's more hardcore than me. I don't even like whiskey anymore.
But I always really liked it because I grew up when Robin Williams was like really prominent in like kid movies and stuff like that, and so that was probably my first introduction when he wasn't like playing like a complete like kid movie role. I mean, Mrs. Doubtfire was kind of like bridging the way there, but Good Will Hunting was like the full like step into like, wow, he really can act. That's amazing.
It's always I think it's easier to go from comedy to drama as an actor or an actress, because we've seen people try to do the opposite. We've seen dramatic people try to be funny, and sometimes a bit of a mixed bag there. A little bit of some successes, but other people are like, you just aren't a funny person.
Yeah.
Like another one of the old classics, Good Morning Vietnam. It's like that other serviceman in that movie. I know in my heart that I am funny. You don't decide if you're funny, man. But yeah,
that's because we're like all good comics they make comedy they make comedy out of deep tragedy, and so they're able to pull that. They're able to pull that up in very serious, dramatic roles. A lot of times, really well. Like people don't. A lot of people have forgotten this, but I'm old enough to remember Tom Hanks started on Saturday Night Live. He was a comedian.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Hilarious. Like his early films. Oh my gosh, he was hilarious. Burbs is still maybe my favorite Tom Hanks movie. Non-dramatic movie. Like he's hilarious in that movie. He was really funny in Saturday Night Live, and he had this sitcom, this 80s sitcom. I can't remember the other guy was with, where they played. It fit in really good now because they played two guys that cross-dressed to get jobs.
Oh yeah. They're very, very, very progressive. Who could have seen it coming?
Yeah, that was like 86, 87.
Yeah.
I'm much less familiar with old TV shows just because I didn't grow up with cable, so I all these reruns people talk about, like even people more my age. I'm like, I missed most of that. Like I've seen a couple of them because my ex-wife used to watch a lot of old shows, but besides that, it was like, yeah, no, I feel very out of the loop with older like sitcoms and TV shows. But yeah, let's acknowledge the chat as well. We got
Andrew Campbell, Brian McCoppin, the lovely
Maji-chan.
Maji.
Big is a good movie and a very funny film too.
Yep. With a really poignant ending with that one.
Yeah, a proper
due to a lot of his performance.
Caffeinated Wolf, I'm here not to not bully Carrow because she's my boss and
No, that's a fucking lie. He's a filthy fucking liar. And he laughed just now.
You've been called out. Liar. Oh, I love when our guests get bullied almost as much as when I get bullied. It's great. But the great thing about that Carrow being in this space is that then you could go onto their live stream and ruin their entire show, like I did with Royce's stream, interviewing the Lord Otter the other day.
That was great.
Jarrod, did you catch any of that? Did you see?
Not yet.
Oh,
was it awesome?
I sent in the video. I posted on the tap room the Kahuna video, the full of the and then everybody was sending in bowl jokes for the rest of the stream. It was great.
Priceless.
But yeah, no, Good Will Hunting. 1997 is when I thought it came out earlier. I didn't realize that. But yeah, no, it was a great launching pad for Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and apparently from what I've been told, they actually wrote this movie.
Yeah,
and it makes sense because it's a very, very Boston.
Yeah,
everything about it. I'm like, man, I kind of like. I've never been in that part of the country like thoroughly enough to like. I've only heard that accent like a couple times in person. It's a shame. I love that accent,
dude. But, there was a period of time when with Corpus Christi. Then I averaged it up that we ended up in Boston once every 3 months for 2 years because we recorded demos up there. Then we recorded for 3 years.
Are there big music studios in Boston?
They're not big studios, but there's a lot of bands up there, and a lot of those bands have producers in there. So Ken Susi from Unearth produced our first record, and so we were up there doing demos with him. Then we went up there for a whole month and did the first record. Then we did another demo. And then when it came time for our second record, we were up there for another month. But that was out on the Cape, but we're out there at the Brick Hit House with Shane Frisbee. And I have in the course of those years, I have absorbed the mass hole, culture into my DNA, and I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, no,
to the point where like when I go back there, because I went back there to do all the sound design, not all the sound design. I did all the music for Missouri Bill was in what I did up there with them, and then I went back to do a lot of the ADR and the sound design with Kyle, and it's just nothing but Southie jokes just constantly. It was either that or Hulk Hogan, like one of those two things. We're just that was we basically spoke in those idioms. We didn't even use our film. I didn't even talk like normal people.
Oh, why would you? Yo, RJ, what's up, man? Also, to answer your Caffeinated Wolf, to answer your question, I believe she was just Hassaning her dog, but we can neither confirm nor deny that.
I would never Hassan my dog.
I'm hoping to turn that into a verb if it hasn't happened already. No,
it's really bad because I found even more like past footage of like the event, prior to like it being that obvious, and they're kind of like it's the repeat motion of like doing this like all the time. So
does the dog flinch?
Yeah,
or quickly gets onto the pad afterwards. Yeah.
There's other videos even older than that where you can see puncture marks like in the neck of some.
I saw that one on X today. What a
my favorite is when the people who actually made the collar spoke up and then it's like, no, that's one of our collars, and they just put tape over the prongs, and it was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yep. No, that's the way.
Don't Hassan your dogs, guys. Don't do
it. Don't make Hassan. All right. Yeah, that's fair. That's a weird thing too. Like going off on that tangent a little bit, it's like I have my bad opinion of the day is like that's maybe the least of his like bad, terrible things that he's done, maybe, or it's among like the least of it. But it's the exact thing that would piss off his audience. And that's why they've freaking.
It's like the universal thing. It's like, what's the one thing that you could do that would piss off everyone, even if they hate each other, right? Like you hit a kid, you beat up a dog. Like it's like, okay, well, it's like now we have to, hold you accountable for it.
Or you torture a cat. Do you ever see that documentary on Netflix?
No.
Oh, it's a documentary about this really twisted serial killer from Canada, and he got busted. They were able to like the weaponized autism of the internet, were able to figure out who he was, where he was, and when it happened, because they had tracked him ever since he posted a video of him torturing a cat to death.
That will do it. Yeah.
And the video, I don't know if it's still on Netflix or not because I canceled Netflix, but
Boy, that escalated quickly.
The documentary is called "Don't Fuck with Cats."
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good. Netflix.
If you can find it, watch it. It's really good.
I'll have to look at it later. I know, like a couple years ago, like Quartering Jeremy, he was like on this crusade against like this 11-year-old that kept recording him like torturing cats, and I think it took him like 2 weeks before the police finally like stepped in, and I think he had gone through 3 cats at that point. And it was like, that's terrible.
Jeez.
Like,
yeah, no, why can't you just have your cat eaten by a coyote like a normal person?
No, and he's a kid, right? Like he's a kid. That's like some psychopath behavior.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, you got to keep an eye out on stuff like that. It's like with my second child, bless his heart, he's such a nice boy. He wouldn't hurt a fly on purpose. With my first one, I'm like, no, we don't. A boy sticking his tongue out at you doesn't mean you can push him off of the porch. No, sorry, that's not how that works, buddy. But yeah, no, we all have our deals. That the dark. Oh, apparently she went through the dock. Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Fun dark stuff. I love how many shitty people there are. It makes it really easy to remember we're all sinful creatures. But anyway, back to therapy and how it might have helped some of these weirdos if they'd got it in time.
Good segue.
Absolutely. I'm not actually a huge proponent of therapy in some ways. I think it's over. AC is joined. I'm so happy you're here.
Yes.
Hey,
How did the beginning of the show go, guys?
and you have color on your camera again. I'm so happy. But yeah, no, we're talking about Good Will Hunting and why it. What about this film makes it special to you? Obviously, the acting is great all around. I don't think there's a weak performance in this movie. Even the chemistry between the love interests was palpable in this film. Like you really felt it, and I feel like you don't always. It's not as authentic. It doesn't feel as authentic in a lot of modern films. I'm not entirely sure why that is. Maybe it's just they put more effort into finding that, or maybe that this film is just special for that reason. But what are some of the things that really draw you guys to this film and why you enjoy it so much?
Go ahead, Carrow.
Oh yeah, Carrow.
I guess for me, it was the fact that Will was especially gifted, but because of how he grew up, he like hid his gift. But then at one point, he would actually like weaponize it against people, right? And the way that he would use it, like when he was trying to get out of stuff in court, like he would be like quoting documents to try and like persuade judges to like not give him sentences and stuff like that. And I thought the whole like him taking the janitor job at like one of the smartest colleges in the world was like a subtle fuck you to society, because he was like, I don't need to go to your school to solve your problem.
I'm going to be smarter than all of you, and
yeah,
I'm going to exist.
And I'm the janitor, right? And so that was that kind of like rebellion and spirit, like in a character, like really called to me. And then watching Will and Sean, the therapist, like kind of grow together and realize that they're actually technically like the same person, just they just chose different courses, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was like a really beautiful moment, and it ended up, Ben ended up picking the choice that was best for him, and not what people were like, well, this is what's good for you. Right. So, and of course, like they ride off into the sunset. Maybe it worked out, maybe it didn't. In Carrowland, it was great. Okay.
It was fabulous. We liked it. Great performances all around.
Yeah.
AC, since you just got here, my man, as long as your dogs aren't barking, what's something that really, what's the favorite thing about this film for you?
Well, what really stood out for me was the dialogue. It does this dance the entire time, where it's bombarding you with seemingly pointless information with the dialogue. And, to be honest, there is a couple scenes in there that I did identify as potentially pointless. Maybe they did have like a reason behind a couple. It's small moments, like a minute or two of footage, just some stuff that made it into editing. But it jumps between this crazy, incredible organic dialogue between the characters, and then not saying anything at all and just showing you something that's happening on screen. And it doesn't have to tell us anything, because we literally are following. Like a good example is when they discover the equation. They don't say a word. Time? Yeah, they don't say a word. They just kind of stumble upon it, and they're both looking. The camera pans over. We understand what's going on as the audience, and the dude looks back at the other guy, and all the guy says is "looks right," and that's the only dialogue in the scene is he says "looks right."
Yeah, and Jarrod could speak on that, because like he's a filmmaker now as well. And it's like when you have a visual medium, like I use it for when I talk about manga or comics, but it works for movies too. If you have a visual medium, use the visual. The visuals are part of the story. Not everything has to be spoken aloud. And Carrow, you've worked on plenty of comics and you've written your own stories. I'm sure you've seen that main difference between novels and comics. Like comics can say things without having to say it, like write it down in words. They can use a picture.
You really like, you have to only show, because it's more of a visual medium. It's not long prose. And that's actually one of the things, probably the number one reason I'll kick script backs to writers, with the exception of Chuck Dixon, because his writing's perfect. He's been doing it for like years.
Everybody says it, and it's so true, and it's so funny, because like nobody can honestly disagree with it.
Yeah, like it's just he knows what he's doing in that regard. But like, and I've always said it comes down to like trust issues that writers have. And given the amount of retardation I've encountered on the internet, I understand why people are kind of like, I just want to be really clear. Yeah, yeah, everywhere.
There's no intelligent life here. No.
But yeah, so they're because they encounter it so much, they start catering to that audience. And the thing is, like, people who actually comprehend what's going on are going to be like, okay, yeah, I got it. And they're not going to say anything. But it's always the people who are kind of like, oh, I didn't get it. Explain it to me. Like, walk me through. Like, just tell me the answer. Give me cliff notes. So.
Yeah, and like a lot of people have trouble reading between the lines. Like my oldest, he can read, but I'm trying to have him. I'm trying to get him faster at reading, and I'm trying to make sure that his reading comprehension is good, because the school, from what I can tell, they'll teach reading, but they're not really teaching reading comprehension as well as maybe they once did, or maybe
that's what I struggled with, for sure. Yeah,
reading comprehension, you struggled with that when you were younger?
Yeah, I have terrible eyesight too, so it's like
that could be a problem. Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's like it sucks. But then you got comics and movies, video games. There you go. That's enough.
Also, AC, can you put a poll in the YouTube? I don't know how to do that.
Yes.
Can you ask how many people beat up their elementary school bully, just assaulted them in the streets randomly while they're playing basketball? I'm just curious what the ratio is.
Should I just say beat up your high school bully?
Yes or no? Yeah.
Yes or no?
My high school was too small for that. Like my graduating class was like 19 students, so like, that wasn't good.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's small. Yeah,
That's wicked. I thought mine was small. That's wicked small.
I had
Where
75.
was that?
I grew up. I went to school at a military base, and so we only I think the largest graduating class that school ever had before my year was like 2 years after. It was 32, and that was
okay. That makes sense though. Yeah.
I'm not gonna. RJ brings up a good point. Most people approach Starship Troopers the same way. Is this fascism? Anyone who has that take is probably the same person who would call me racist and say that orcs are black people. So I don't even know.
Actual racists.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, you guys are the race. You. That's you.
Hey,
we never said that.
The people making the comparison. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see everything through.
I was homeschooled or homeschool adjacent with most of my education, though the last 3 years in high school was like I got college level classes from accredited teachers in an academy of sorts. It was just a dispersed academy, but yeah, homeschool. Yeah, there's a lot of homeschool energy here. Not enough, perhaps.
I'm trying to add more to the world, Kahuna. Don't worry.
I know. We honestly need it, and we need some smart homeschool kids. Just make sure they do sports somewhere so they're not socially retarded.
Yeah, just bring them places with you.
Pretty much bully your kids until they do sports. That's the way. But yeah, in this film, I do love that, because the way I grew up, everybody I knew, every single person, homeschooled, private school, public school, or otherwise, it was just assumed everyone's going to college. Every single person, and everybody had a plan. And when I was 10 years old, my dad would take me to business meetings, and I'd work with him, and I'd go do construction, and then go to the office with him a lot. And so I saw maybe 2 to 3 dozen people in high positions or owning different companies, and maybe a third of them had some sort of degree. Most of them did not, and they were very successful. I'm like, I want to be like these guys. Now, whether I achieve that or not, that's up for debate. But I did decide at a very young age I wasn't going to go to college. So in this movie, it kind of shows both. There's value in education, but only if you really become educated and you're not just using it as some sort of prop like that, like the smartass in the bar near the beginning of the film. And so them kind of taking the piss out of education, or at least the worship of education. That's something I appreciated in this film, and it was kind of ahead of its time. That was a very.
Do you like apples? Do you like apples? I got a number. How you like them apples?
Yeah, that was really good.
So good.
Oh, now I do love watching that scene too, because I'm like, this is how if everyone was smart. Being smart just means your brain moves faster. It doesn't mean you don't have good ideas if you're not smart. It just means it takes you longer to get them out. And so it's like everybody has had a moment where they thought of a great reply to someone in conversation. You're like, I should have said that earlier. Anyway, here we are.
And I think the other thing that movie kind of highlights, not to jump on the education thing too much, is that intelligence is not just a single you're just smart, right? People, there are some people who are very intelligent with music. I hear music and I'm like, that sounds appealing, right? But some people can get in there and they can talk about tempo and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. That's right over my head, right? And then you have people who are just they just read a lot, right? And so reading a lot doesn't always equate into being intelligent either, because I've met some really stupid bookworms, right? It's kind of I read all these books, it must mean I'm smart. And I was like, no, man, you are. No.
They'll be reading, but then they'll look up like this.
No, it's not even that. I read so there was a guy that I used to know when I went to writing group when I still lived in Arizona, and he read a lot of books. Don't get me wrong, if I asked him a question, he could cite a book, right? But when I tried to talk to him about that particular topic, it's not quite like the reading comprehension, but it was like the pedagogy of the conversation that we were trying to have. He couldn't get there because all he could do was just recount things that he had read. He couldn't process it into an understanding to express it, right?
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, and earlier we were talking about reading comprehension. And I think one of the issues that's happening with reading comprehension is we're not teaching reading comprehension or critical thinking at a way that's meant to develop the brain. We're trying to teach it in a way that gives the answer to the test.
Yes.
It's like if you read a philosophy book, it's like you just adopt the philosophy if it sounds good to you. You don't consider, a lot of people don't consider it and see what parts of it might fit into your own belief, or what parts of it are worthy of your belief and your understanding. And yeah, continue. But I like this conversation.
Yeah, but like a really good example that I went through is that when I started going to college, because I didn't want to work in a call center for the rest of my life, and the VA was like, "Do you want to go to school?" And I was like, "Yeah, I could use a break from the call center," right? And so I went into the English class, and they, one of the essays that we had to read and write about is one called "A Good Man is Hard to Find." I don't know if you guys read that at all.
I haven't read it, but I've been meaning to read it. So continue.
You should be able to Google it and find it online if you really want to. The too long didn't read is that there's a family in a car and they are traveling somewhere. There's a grandmother in the back of the car. She is a pain in the ass, and I don't think she's a good person, right? But while they're driving, they hear a radio report that some prisoners have gotten out, and because of the grandmother, at some point, the car ends up like going into a ditch. And so while they're trying to figure out what to do, the criminals show up. And the lead criminal is having this conversation with the grandmother while his cojones, take her family into the woods and supposedly off them, right? And so the reading comprehension that they wanted us to have was within the story, who is the Jesus figure and who is the Satan figure, right? And so the correct answer the school wanted me to have was it's, the grandmother. The grandmother is the Jesus figure. And I was like, no, she's not. Like, I don't know if you read the Bible. I read the Bible. That was definitely not Jesus, right? But because the guy's a criminal and he's having like this particular conversation, they're kind of like, no, he has to be Satan. And I remember at one point, like, because I got into it with my teacher because I turned it in, and he said it was like, the thing is supposed to be this, and I was like, you asked me to write my opinion on this essay, and that's what I wrote. You don't have to like my opinion.
You don't need to grade me on my opinion. You can grade me on the quality of my work and maybe perhaps my process, like the thought process I used to get there. But I think it would be dishonest of him to give you a poor grade solely on the fact that you came to a different conclusion on the same piece of work.
That just sounds like some sort of softcore MK Ultra stuff where it's like 3 times removed enough where they can plausibly deny things, but really just comes off like it's doing multiple things at once. One of them is like you said, that's not Christ, and the other thing is like, you need to be okay with us grading your opinion. Here, put your opinion into an essay and then let me grade it and then be okay with the situation. And none of the kids are going to notice that,
Yeah.
So.
But
that unlocked a core memory for me a little bit too of in like something equivalent to Sunday school when I was very young. They had us watch the Goofy movie when the Sasquatch attacks and like the whole camping portion of that movie. And it's like, who's the bad guy in this part of the film? And I was dumb. I was like, Sasquatch, obviously. And they're like, no, that guy's jackass dad. He's the bad one. He's the whispering manipulator. I'm like, but Sasquatch attack them. They're like, anyway, well,
they can both be bad. Okay, they can both be bad. Two things can be right at the same time.
Yes. Also, that movie is very like that's a very good film. I think it has like because it's one of those rare kids movies with like a message for both like the adult and the child, and it is different. Like they have there are things to learn as an adult and a child, and I think that movie does a great job with both of those messages. Anyway, we're talking about Good Will Hunting here, so.
Well, we were
technically number 4.
We were technically talking about education and led to the Goofy movie. So
it talks about higher education and inevitably lead to the Goofy movie and the moral lessons that you can learn from it.
Andrew, you should come onto the stream one day, and you should pick the Goofy movie as your movie. How do you like those apples? Yeah,
that's the line. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying in in the chat, man. We got to get the Goofy movie on here because I know that's a lot of people's favorites. For sure.
And we
I never watched
to
it.
each other's eyes.
Yeah.
When did that come out?
90s, early
Yeah.
2000s, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
That was old.
But yeah,
Maybe.
like, did you guys have a favorite performance in here? I mean, there's the obvious answer, but I'm sure there's other answers.
Oh, the park scene when Will and Sean are having like that discussion, and even though they made them like, you know, retake the shoot 5 times, right? They were still like, no, we just went with the first one because, like, you know, Robin just nailed it just perfectly, and that was such a great moment. It really was.
Yeah,
They
that monologue is one of the best in film history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was gonna say is like obviously Robin Williams, but like his takes were so good.
95 on the Goofy movie. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, nice. But Robin's takes were so good that like I was listening to it again. You know, I watched it today even, so it's pretty fresh in my mind. And his dialogue was imperfect. You know what I mean? It wasn't okay. So like, how do I explain this? It wasn't like smoothly done, right? But it was in a moment where they were having an emotional moment. So the unsmoothness of it was forgivable, but I could tell that there was these are potentially bad takes that they decided to keep because he just nailed them in other ways and it played it off good. Like one of them, I noticed he put like he sequenced his words wrong in this sentence. I forget what he said. It was like
said words in the wrong order.
In the wrong order, yeah. And it was literally right there blatantly in the dialogue. Like if you read it back to somebody, you'd be like, oh, that's silly. But he was like worked up, you know, he was like worked up in the scene. It was like one of those emotional moments, which by the way,
but the trick with that is like people from like that's probably, I question whether or not that's a flaw or is that a masterful execution of dialogue from someone from Southie talking to another person from Southie, because they use different, there's
weird terminology.
They use a weird syntax a lot of times, and especially guys that are like having like a one-on-one conversation like that. So I don't know. I don't think that was a flaw. And a lot of his cadences and stuff, I think if you watch enough of his films, you can see there are patterns in his vocal cadence that show up across all of his dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was an actual, I would argue that it's not imperfect.
I remember the example. He said the correct, and quotations are wrong, correct, right? Because English is a stupid language, right? So he was like, the correct way would be, you're fucking me up right now. I don't want you to fuck him up like you're fucking me up right now, was the line. But I don't want you to fuck him up like you're trying to fuck up me or something, was the way he put it. It was just like there's like a
little funky,
a little funky, yeah, but it was such a good emotional take. And like you said, he's a master. So like I said,
I don't know, a guy from Southie would say it like that.
Yeah. So that's the other thing, is there's always the possibility that he's just brilliant, which he is. So I mean, I can't even say that those are bad. It's not criticism. I'm just saying something. Yeah. Like that's how good his performance was. Is it's either masterful or there's some imperfect takes that they still kept because they're that good.
Well, it makes it feel more human. It's like the older Rocky films, like 1 and 2, maybe more than the others.
People speak.
It's like there's this street level authenticity that you don't get in a lot of movies these days. Everything, it feels so scripted and sanitized. Like, remember when we had ugly people in movies? Like now it's the only time you see an ugly person in a film nowadays is if they're a female Marvel lead, and it's just not right. There we go.
Very true.
Oh, Christ Almighty! But yeah, even Skarsgård was great in this movie too. Go ahead.
I think Speako's like that when it's an emotional moment is actually something that would bring an audience more into it, unless somebody's on the spectrum, and then they'll. Not that I'm saying that about you, AC, but like,
probably. Probably Tylenol, back in the day.
Yeah. But because I noticed that some people will nitpick the dialogue when they're like, I want to say like further on, because they'll be like, well, this metaphor doesn't make sense. And it's like, well, because you don't understand metaphors. Like we've talked about this.
No, yeah. Like I said, it's like I have like when you're angry, when you're upset, when you're emotional, your words come out like not in the right order. You know what I'm saying?
Also, Caffeinated Wolf, I see all your comments in the down below. Careful what you say, because Carrow, she has an angry streak.
Do I?
I think I'll kill you.
Think of my children.
You don't have any children.
Someday I might.
Shut up.
I love that movie.
Get out of her
That's a good
mouth.
movie too.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
She's much buffer in that particular clip than she is now. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually work with Caffeinated Wolf. He's like probably my closer coworker. So he actually has to physically look me in the eye like every Wednesday. So
Oh, you poor soul.
Is he taller than you? Does he look you in the eye, or does he like?
he is actually taller than me. I would have to put on like some heels just to be at eye level. So
No, that's fun.
yeah, he's Dokemon Andrew online. He's usually the person that does a lot of our talking videos when we're at conventions and stuff like that. If you've seen him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, no, yeah, you guys, you have a great team. You guys work. You all. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Jens.
He's very good at this. Very good at speaking. Yeah.
Great example right there. We
He
just saw it
talks
in real
real
time.
good. He talks
So-
good.
Was
Great
that a
speaker.
master?
Talk word good.
Was that a masterful performance by Lord Kahuna over here, or an imperfect script? We will never know because he's such a genius, much like Robin Williams. So there we go.
Nope. Anytime I mess up on camera, it's definitely on purpose.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the story. That's the story.
The other thing too is in that scene is how it was directed. What was it? You know, and again, I don't know. I don't think we ever know the answer. But was it like, okay, this is the dialogue. These are the words. Say these words, or it was just like, this is where this scene starts. This is where this scene has to get to. What do you do between there? And like some directors will do that, and you use the what's written in the script for a lot of scenes, especially like big emotional scenes like that. Will end up these are guardrails, like guideposts at best. What do you got? And like a masterful example of that. Masterful is crap. What's the Tom Cruise movie? It's not Vanilla
Mission
Sky.
Impossible?
No. It was one of the ones.
Minority Report.
No, before that, it's one of the ones when he took a really big departure from action. He was doing a lot of like.
Jerry Maguire.
Nope. Before that.
That was a good guess.
I don't know every Tom Cruise movie, man.
Here, I'll look into it.
Yeah, but there's
It's the one. It was right around the same time as Vanilla Sky. But anyway, in this movie, I can't remember the title. Stinking crap. The scene in there though, his father in the film is dying, and the dad's like unconscious, and Tom Cruise is in there, and he told the directors like, just put the camera on me and let me go. And his entire monologue in that, his whole performance was unscripted, because the director knew, it was like, he's got this. I trust him. Go. And it is gut wrenching to watch that scene, because and so it's like, it comes down to a lot of the direction of that scene. Like when he's yelling back and forth with Skarsgård, it's like, did the director, like, how strict was the director about the script and the dialogue, or did he let it play out, just trusting his actors? And like, I'd have a hard time not trusting those two guys in the same room.
Oh, Robin Williams and Skarsgård, are you kidding me?
Get real,
you
dude.
Can't mess that up. Like like everyone talks about Robin Williams, obviously, because he's a great actor, and like Matt, everyone does great. But Skarsgård, he has almost the harder part. He has to play kind of the asshole who's not entirely wrong, but it like has redeemable quality. I think that's maybe one of the harder roles to play in this film.
Yeah.
And also something I noticed watching this movie, I've noticed it more and more as I've considered it. Most new movies, they don't have monologues anymore. Monologues are very hard to act, to script, and to film. And it's too bad because a really good monologue is memorable. I love a good monologue, and it seems like almost all new movies, like Nosferatu, we talked about that recently too, that had some monologues, but most new movies don't have monologues, and it's a damn shame because like remember the first time that Sean took Will to the park, and he Will basically didn't talk the entire.
That's the scene that Carrow was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that monologue is great. It's fantastic.
Magnolia.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, dude. That his monologue while his dad at his dad's deathbed, brutal, and it was entirely unscripted.
Caffeinated Wolf, very based. The Last Samurai is among my favorite films as well. Period. Is it filmed in Japan? Mostly not, but that's neither here nor there. Very good film.
Hans Zimmer Hans Zimmer score, by the way, fantastic.
He's no John Williams, but he'll do in a pinch. There's a lot of great what do you call them, composers out there for film, but like when I think of classic films, like the scores you'll never forget, where people can whistle the tune of the film, you think of John Williams. Like as good as Zimmer is, as good as like all these other people are, like Howard Shore, obviously he did Lord of the Rings, he wins, but John Williams is the GOAT. He is so good. Every single film he did was memorable and interesting. And anyway, we're not talking about that, but here we are. No,
yeah, I don't know about you guys, but just every one of those scenes with Robin Williams, whenever, at least in the first 2/3 of the movie or whatever, I was reduced to tears. Very, very emotional, real, visceral stuff that going on there. Like I don't know, man. I couldn't take it. I'm just like, this is such good shit. And that's why I keep bringing up the dialogue, because that's where the real meat is, I think.
Yeah.
These human moments.
This started off as just a college project as well. The original, Matt Damon wrote the original deal, and it was for a playwriting class at Harvard University, and so he wrote this originally as a 40-page script. Pretty insane. And then he had Affleck obviously help him with it, and then some of the other, and then it just got bigger and bigger from there. But it's really interesting, and it's and then AC is bringing up the point of the script, and like Jarrod, you as well. And the script is great, but like they also talk about Robin Williams improvised most of his best lines in this movie.
Yeah.
Which is really, really impressive. And it's really true to the kind of person Robin Williams was. I don't think he will ever be replaced. There's something like any movie he was in became a Robin Williams film, whether he was involved in directing or just acting. It's true. He think of it like Patch Adams, Hook, Aladdin, any film he was in, meaning like for
Insomnia.
Insomnia.
That was Christopher Nolan and Al Pacino, and he still stole it.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan
as the bad guy.
I know, it's crazy. Mrs. Doubtfire, which if you edit it right is a horror film. Tell me I'm wrong. Have you guys you guys have seen like those re-edits? Like, it's like this movie like as trailer as a horror film. It's like Mrs. Doubtfire. You don't have to really change very much. Change the score and the soundtrack. Change the score a little bit. That's all. The entire film. Oh, it's like that. If you think about that, it's like that actually would be a very scary thing to have as a parent in real life. Either side of that whole thing.
I think one of the things that made Robin Williams such an amazing actor is that it wasn't. I guess you could summarize it as acting chops if you want to do it that way. I feel it's a little bit of a disservice, but it's like Robin became like that character. Like he was the essence of that character. And the big thing for me when I saw like Good Will Hunting was like he was so completely different from everything else, and I always loved like the films they did. I can't remember the one where the one where like his character died and it was like in heaven and his wife went to hell. Do you guys remember which one that was?
Oh yeah,
I saw that when I was very young. I don't.
Okay,
remember
well,
that.
you
Yes,
remember like you remember
yeah,
the
yeah.
essence of it, right? And
Yeah.
so like even that movie
Yeah.
was like
1 second. It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my
okay,
favorite
yeah.
movies.
But it was like the way he captured that life as the doctor and everything else, like even though like, you know, he had like a little bit of like, you know, some people quirks in there, like that character like really like leapt off the page. And I remember when he did end up like going to hell to find his wife, I was kind of like I was a little disappointed because again, it's Robin in the scene and he's I don't want to say he's robbing the scene, but he is the scene. And I felt so bad for the actress because you could tell she was just trying to like keep up with him. And I feel like he has always done that for pretty much every role that he's been in. Like it's not a paycheck, right? Like he's not Nicolas Cage, like, you know, trying to make enough back to pay off the IRS. He's like, these are films I like, these are scripts I'm into, these are things that I want to be in, and he embodies it, and it shows in everything that he does. Like the acting chops for that craft are just, you know, amazing. It's almost the same thing with like with Edward Norton. I have a lot of respect for the way that Edward Norton likes to walk into scripts and stuff like that. And the whole reason he doesn't do Marvel anymore was because he was like, hey, can we fix the script because it's kind of ass? And so they let him fix it, but then they edited the fuck out of it. So it went back to being ass. And he was so pissed that he even mentioned it when he got his award for it.
That was the best showing of Hulk as well in the entire MCU, the first damn film.
Yeah, but he was so good. He was so good. He was great as Hulk. He was great in Fight Club. He was great in, you know, Silence of the Lambs. Like he's so good, but that's because
History
he picks
X.
good shit. He picks good shit.
Yeah. Oh, The Italian Job. He was a perfect villain in that film.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, like fantastic villain in that movie.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, and AC found what dreams may come. But
yes.
That was such a good film. It really was.
It's a harrowing story too. Literally, the guy journeys out of heaven into hell to save his wife, who committed suicide because he died.
Caffeinated Wolf, yes,
so
I did see The Illusionist, and it's a good film, but you know the problem? The Prestige came out right around the same time, and it's a much better film. Sorry. Edward Norton is great in that movie, but The Prestige is the far and away superior magician film of that era.
Which one had Tesla in it?
The Prestige.
Yeah, see, there you go.
That's another
Nolan film.
Another Nolan. That's honestly, that's one of my favorite Nolan films, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, don't get me wrong, Inception's great. The Batman trilogy, fantastic. But The Prestige was really, really interesting. Very well directed.
I'm gonna be like, no, I like them both. I like them both. I can like them both. Okay,
you're allowed.
Yeah.
Oh,
this one was interesting for me because I hadn't seen it since I've been in recovery, and so
it's been a number of years. Yeah.
So watching this one again yesterday in sobriety it was interesting because it's like I have.
Did it hit you differently?
Oh yeah,
more time has passed.
Yeah, I have a much more profound appreciation for the nuance of Robin Williams' role as a therapist.
The more extensive life experience. It's interesting for me because when I first saw this film, I was maybe a teenager. And so, like, now that I'm a little bit older, I've lived a lot more life, a lot more tragedy since then. I'm like, yeah, he's absolutely right in that first monologue talking. He's like, you're
just a kid.
You're a kid. You don't know. You are smart, but you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't have the experience to know. You're doing exactly what someone else in your position would do because you don't know better.
Crying like a baby. When he was giving that speech, like,
yeah, dude.
You can't tell me what the Sistine Chapel smells like.
Yeah,
hell,
dude.
It made me think of a line from Spider-Man 2, which we've watched with Frederick Gooey Duck, Frederick Gooey Duck recently. And that is intelligence. It's what was it? It's a gift. It's a gift, and you should use it for the good of mankind. And it's like, yeah, no, it's even worse in this film because he wasn't only not using it for the good of mankind, he wasn't using it for the good of himself. He was like, his intelligence was so wasted in the beginning of this film.
Yeah.
And it took a therapist, his best friend, and some tragic circumstance and pressure in his life to finally make him start using it in a more positive direction, or at least shaping into a person who would use their intelligence for the good of other people, or at least the common good, I would say.
I would say it took people to not give up on him, because that was the reoccurring theme with Will. Like, people gave up on him all the time to the point where he didn't want to deal with the bullshit, so he would immediately start pushing them away. Like, the first thing he did when he knew that Sean wasn't going to get him out of his office was he tried to find a way to provoke Sean to make him not come back, right? Because he just didn't want to deal with it. And so when he couldn't run away from the relationships and the love, like, that was his aha moment. He was like, these people believe in me, to the point where they won't leave me the fuck alone.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
He values that above all else. So.
Yeah.
And also, like, it's interesting here because, like, every time I watch a movie like this, I'm so thankful I have nice parents. Like, all these damaged characters and damaged people with shitty parents. It's like, my dad was great. He hit me once and I deserved it. All these abusive, like, horror stories, essentially. But it has been more illuminating because, like, I lived with someone who was damaged from a young age and never quite got better. She just never got out of that headspace of that, like, helpless little girl. Instead, she became the monster that she was afraid of. But it's like, that's a very common thing. A lot of people have different responses to these kind of things, and
it takes a lot of work to get out of it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work to get out of it. That was there's just, oh man,
we have the best words.
I know that, and they just
this is a great movie. This is a great movie to be speechless on. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Again, Jarrod Christman, creative genius, or hold on. I got to do the, hold on, here it is.
It's time.
Titties to the sky. Ultimate shirtless Kahuna. Ultimate
Kahuna. Carrow, if you need a bag, we have them in the bag. It happens every time. Anyway, here we are.
What do I do with the bag?
It never gets old.
For puking. It's great. No. There is fake hair in my mouth and eyes. I can't see, but it is good. Thank you very much. I thought I was going to go an entire stream with my shirt intact. Alas, here we are. Actually, Carrow, you were at Royce's, so you already know. You know how I be. Anyway,
she's aware.
Yeah, I experienced it in person firsthand. I was like, yeah, it's exactly the same. Like, on how you are online, exactly the same in person.
It was funny. Some people they play it up a little bit, and I do play it up. I like, my online personality is a little more. It's me at add to 11, not just 10, but it is still me. And Maji, I forgot you had it had its own song. Yeah, it does. I think didn't your wife put that together, AC?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Katie did it. Yeah, that was great.
Yep. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be a meme one day. Kahuna is gonna have a bounty on his shirt every stream, and eventually we're gonna have to set some rules in place to like, because then obviously people are gonna be showing up early and then just like super chatting $1.
You gotta do it in tiers. Be like, once we get like $10, the gloves come off.
Yeah.
Once we get $20, the hat comes off. Right? Get to $50, the shirt comes off. Get
I'm
to
saying.
$100.
Kara, you're assuming I'm wearing pants right now.
I didn't say pants. We're not talking about pants. I
okay.
literally was like,
Please
gloves,
stay
hat,
seated.
shirt. Yeah.
Anyway, I can't stand up. Now, let's anyway, we could have an auction. It's like whoever bids the most, I'll advertise their product on my chest in blue paint or something. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Anyway, this sexual exploitation of a native Hawaiian feels very authentic to our discussion of Good Will Hunting and how he was. People were attempting to exploit his intelligence in this film.
That's
Exactly
a great
the same.
segue. 10-10 segue. I'm
Thank you.
very impressed.
Almost as good as Roy saying, "Hey, look, beer."
Did you guys notice at one point in the movie it was like there's like multiple it was multiple things going on with one movie. It was a therapy movie, right? But then it's also like a drama but like a cat and mouse story in a way, because they show us this montage of Will essentially trashing each therapist with ease. And it looks like they were bringing pretty prestigious therapists in to talk to him.
The hypnotist guy killed me, dude.
Yup. Hey, I read your book. Why are you so gay? Why are you so gay? Why are you gay?
Hey man, I don't mind if you putt from the rough. Putt from the rough.
Yeah. My word.
Oh, that line. That was. I'm like, that's authentic East Coast City line right
Calling
there.
everybody retards.
Retard, yeah.
That was good. Good stuff.
We need to bring that back. I mean, retards are in abundance. I mean the usage of the word, common usage of the word.
Wait, you stopped?
No, I never. I work construction, bro. I never stopped. We became more sophisticated. We hired a buddy of mine. He's Puerto Rican, so he's like, "Oh, I got like 1/3 privilege." When they're talking about white privilege,
1/3 privilege. Yeah.
He's like, what 1/3 of me feels really guilty, and the other third of me hates me.
Well, that kind of ties in what you're saying though about like him being exploited. That ties back into what Carrow was saying earlier about him not using what he's been given properly, not being a good steward of what he's been given. And like that was that's what made Ben Affleck's bit at the end so heavy. And like that part really like I remember that I've always remembered that part, even though I used to hate Ben Affleck. So
he has a kind of douchey quality to him, especially when he was younger. It's kind of this.
Yeah.
It's not something I could point to. It's like that's the reason. But
no,
like
the first thing I ever saw him in was Dazed and Confused, and I was like, I would run over him with my car. Like I just couldn't stand that guy, and I didn't like him in Good Will Hunting early. But the older I got, the more I appreciated it. But that scene at the end of the day, and he's like, "No offense, but if we're still doing this in 20 years, I'm going to kick your ass."
He's like,
because tomorrow I'm going to be 50, and like, and that whole bit when he goes in there, it's like, you don't know it to me, you don't know it to yourself, you owe it to me, you owe it to all these other guys who can't do what you fucking do. Like
any one of these
right
guys would
like,
kill to have what you have.
Yeah, like that was heavy, and like it was well a well formulated thought. It was well written. And it was well executed. Like that was just it was well done all the way around. And it's like, it's nice to be able to sit here like with what was that? Gee, many Christmas, like almost 30 years since that movie came out, to see to like, especially like being in recovery and to see that again and to appreciate it's like, yeah, that still holds up and that's legit. Like that was really cool. Yeah.
And it's also, it's like, it's like that point is smart and could have been made by another character, but it couldn't have been said in that way and communicated in that way by any other character.
He wouldn't have heard Will couldn't have heard it from anybody else.
Yeah, and that's true too. But it's that's something I point to with friends of mine who have written books. Like Otter improved this a lot between different drafts of both of his books, and that was, each line should you shouldn't need a dialogue tag to tell who said most of these lines. You should just be able to read it and know by the way that it's written, by the tone of what's being said, which character said this line.
I was so impressed. So impressed with that one scene. Looks right. Like literally, it was like several minutes.
Oh, fuck you, Maji. Fuck you. Sorry, had to say
it. Fuck you, guy. No, that's my Minnesota shit coming out. Damn it. I mixed that up. I told Katie that this was like the Fargo for Baston. It's like the Fargo of the East Coast. But yeah, what I meant by like the cat and mouse thing, there's like several movies going on at the same time, right? And like the cat and mouse thing was when Robin Williams was introduced after that, just because he's trying to trash him, just like all the other therapists, and it's not working. And in fact, the first time they meet, it's like almost instantly Robin Williams just. Because one of the recurring themes, at least right away with their relationship, was figuring each other out. Kind of like assuming everything about this person or whatever. It's kind of one of the running themes of the whole movie, actually. And Robin really did have him figured out right away, because he almost immediately started playing him at his own game. He's like, a lot of books. Well, you read any of these?
Yeah. Well, because they're the same. They're technically the same character, right? It's just they're at different stages of their life. So he was able to be kind of like, yeah, that's me at 22. This is gonna be a fucking pain in the ass.
He's like, God damn it, I'll be back.
Also, I do like that the asshole guy at the bar in the beginning of the film. I do like that. He was an asshole, but when he's talking to Affleck's character. About it's like, yeah, but your kids will still be will be serving my kids fries when they're on their way to like this like great job or great like vacation destinations. Like, damn, he right though. Damn. It's and I think it just makes the impact of his final like dialogue with Will that much more impactful, because it's like he's not dumb. He knows that guy was absolutely spot on with what he was saying. Like, regardless of qualification, intelligence, or anything else, it's like he has the lifestyle, the demeanor, the opportunity, the wealth, like and everything he needs to get where he wants to get in life. And it's like someone in like most of those kids on South End, no shot. They have what they have, and only someone with an exceptional ability, talent, or drive is going to be able to escape that life, and that's what he had, which was so special.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it a float for obvious reasons. Yeah, float.
Yeah, that is a wise and insightful point, Alexander.
Well said.
Well
said.
Very well said. So final thoughts and whether you think it floats or not. Carrow, you next.
I mean, I picked it. Obviously, it floats. So I try not to share shit with people. That seems weird.
That'd be a weird flex.
Yeah.
You clearly never been in the military. Wait, no, you were in the military. Anyway, we're not taking that analogy. Jarrod.
This for me, this one's a skyship. Like this one sails hard, and I think like one thing we haven't noted yet that I don't think I ever fully appreciated until I was watching it yesterday is Minnie Driver's performance. Like, she was so good, and that scene when she asked Will to come to California with her, like, that heartbreak was real, dude.
Yeah, and like both of them reacted in the way you expect them to, but it's like a train you can't get out of the way of.
Yeah, dude, just gut wrenching. So like The only like if I was going to be a prick, my only critique would be, and I'm not going to be a prick. I'm just saying my only critique would be the score is a product of its time. Like it sounds like a very 1997 score.
It does.
But it works. It still works for the film. So yeah,
no, it's plenty serviceable, and in some places I even really like it. But it is a product of its time for better and for worse in some cases.
Yeah, so I love this movie. Super float, skyship.
Okay, so for me, final thoughts here. I have a lot of problems with therapy. I have a lot of problems with the way people discuss therapy and what they think it's, and how a lot of modern thinking people believe it's a fix-all to all problems and that nothing can substitute it. I don't agree with that, and I think a lot of movies that focus on therapy are either wildly inaccurate or somewhat pedantic. This film is none of those things. This for me is the exception to the rule because it's tackling a very difficult subject in a real and authentic way. It's well written, it's well acted, and excellent direction. The whole thing all around. It's an absolute skyship. Jarrod, he will be right back. So we'll just remove him. No, yes. We can remove people on this stream.
Yes, you can be booted.
Go to D. Yeah, that's one of our better clips. I'll talk to AC about this later in front of you guys. But I think we should shorten a lot of our clips. A lot of our clips are a little bit long. We need a couple like 1 to 3 second bangers instead of like the 6 to 7 second suckers.
The float clip is kind of intended to be a transition into Carrow time as well now.
100%. Real quick, though, I do want to acknowledge a couple of these comments, Hill. Andrew says, I downloaded Goodwill Humping. I'll let you know if he likes the apples. And Bill says, I always forward art house stuff on people I like. They will be cultured whether they want to be or not. Art house is tricky. I mean, this is technically kind of art house, but yeah, no, I don't know. It depends entirely on the person. It's like with some of my friends, I'm like, I can recommend you this dumb action movie. Other friends of mine, I can't recommend something that's completely non-intelligent. And then Justin, I can't recommend anything because he hates almost every movie inexplicably for no reason. Including Rocky. I'll never get over that. Whether he's here or not. We are allowed to shit. We are allowed to defecate on Evaleighmusic over his Rocky opinion. This is known. Many such cases. I remember your tits from Iowa last year.
Yeah, me too. Good times. I was the reason for his tits. Let's be real. I spilt my drink all over him accidentally.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Accidentally.
That line sounds sus. I'm responsible for his.
That was me. That was this guy.
I remember because I walked out from the kitchen and I had seen him on the deck and I was looking at him and I guess I must have had a look on my face because you guys were trying to explain it to me and I was like, no, it's okay. Shh.
Yeah, we're at a barbecue, right?
Just like in the movie when someone's explaining something, they're just like, shh, like, shh.
It's okay.
Let's just do the Pokemon karaoke like we planned to do. Let's go, guys. Come on.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, dude, karaoke. I forgot about karaoke. Look who's back. Our beautiful boy, he's back.
Welcome back.
This is very satisfying pee.
Very satisfying. Very tremendously. Emptied the
flow is strong with him. Yes.
Oh my goodness, I'm so well hydrated today.
Nice.
I wasn't, dude. I was dying before I took like medication for it. Man, that sucked. I was up on a roof. I'm like, I can't fall up here. I'm down in the mood. It's been like 2 years since I fell off a roof. I'm not in the mood.
2 years since my last incident.
I have fallen off a roof 11 times, and that's not including ladder times. So I'm too old and fat to keep doing that. Anyway, Carrow Brown,
Caffeinated wolf.
Yo,
let's talk about some of your projects, and whether you can talk about whatever you want. You can talk about your own writing. You can talk about Rippaverse stuff. Whatever you want to talk about that you're involved with.
Or your crochet.
Non-knitting.
Yes.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was secretly wondering this whole time if you were knitting the very garment you're wearing.
No, no,
If it was a dual purpose thing.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I can't stand up. The pants are not finished yet.
Dude, that would be, not gonna lie, that would be pretty fucking hard.
But I did make this one.
That is
that
awesome,
so
by the way.
good.
Thank you.
Sick.
Yeah. So, but it's really handy because women like to have blankets, but blankets are just too like unwieldy. So what we do is we make these triangle blankets and then we tie them around us.
And then it looks like something a desert person would wear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I saw you, and I just heard the
off.
Dune soundtrack.
Yeah, and then I get like the rings and the necklace on, and I walk around like some mystic bitch, and people like move like, oh man, she's like, she must be an important person. She's got like shiny shit in her jaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Help me.
Say, if it was completely normal in America, I would totally rock like a poncho or like an old medieval cloak, like an old cloak.
Hey, Andy, I don't know if you know this, but your look, you could just do that.
Yeah.
You don't have a job that would prevent you from. You can just do that. Go ahead. Anyway, Carrow.
Give me a direction. Pick a topic. Go that way.
Pick a topic.
Yeah.
How about your book?
Are you okay?
I dropped my mic. Yes, we're fine. Talk about whatever you want.
That's a very non-awesome mic drop.
The best unintentional mic drop about. I didn't mean to make that sound. It just came out. And this is an SM58. I could run it over with my truck and it would probably still work. I'm not sure why I worried. Anyway, we're back. How about your books?
I have some. Thank you for asking. My first book is called Queen of Swords and Silence. So it's a modern day urban fantasy story, and it follows a fallen Valkyrie as she's also a man-eating monster trying to not get blamed for the world ending while making friends.
So you're an average Seattleite woman?
No, her hair's not like a multicolor. It's it's pretty normal.
Carrow's character's base.
Yeah.
Hence the fantasy part of this story. Anyway.
I actually have I have a painting of the cover because somebody gifted it to me. It was like the weirdest thing, like because it's like I try not to be like a super vain person in multiple ways. So when somebody gifted me my own book cover as a painting, I was like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Like,
how about thank you? Also, name of that book one more time. Never mind. I'll wait.
Put my ears back in.
Name of that book one more time. I'm looking it up on Glamazon.
Queen of Swords and Silence. It is on Amazon, and you can find it on Spotify as well if you want the audiobook, because I did pay for the audiobook. Well, that's my website. You're close.
There we go.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I always default to the website.
That cover makes me feel things.
Yeah, so this was the original cover that I had.
It still shows that one on Amazon, by the way.
That's the one, because I put that book back up. But when I got with one of my publishers, they were like, yeah, we're going to completely change it to like this blue teal with the chick sitting on a rock thing. I was like, okay, cool. But like, I have this one. It's like, yeah, that's great. We're going to do this one. And so as soon as I left, the first thing I did was like throw that cover out and put mine back in.
Yeah, that's totally a publisher thing to do. Not going to lie. They're like, yeah, that's a badass cover. Let's throw it away. Like, you guys are so vain. It's crazy.
Yeah, here it is. Oh, this is the one that they did.
Oh,
so, I mean, it's not terrible.
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, it's not a terrible cover, but it's also kind of like it
like looks a little more typical.
Yeah.
Well, like my issue with it is it looks like it's a medieval story, but it's not, right?
It's low fantasy technically.
Yeah. So
toasted marshmallow.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so I have a series of like short stories in there. The Silence of Mayhem, where I was just kind of like randomly writing short stories that come before Queen of Swords and Silence. And one of them was just called Toasted Marshmallow. So it was like basically like these two people like talking while they were like toasting marshmallows. So it was like story time with my man-eating monster kind of thing.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. Like a lot of low fantasy needs to be more fun because a lot of low fantasy is like, oh, we're so it's either smut or oh, I'm so serious. Yeah, very serious.
Yeah, did a chick write it or did a dude write it? Right?
Yeah.
Can we sidebar here real quick? Can you like walk me through the character in terms of like the whole like what makes her tick? Why does she eat men? How does she eat men? Like like give me the nerd juice on this.
Are we talking about this one right here, Queen?
Yeah, so Ghost, she's called Ghost because she's from the Norse pantheon, and she's this creature that basically has been sent to guard the well of knowledge, because at one point people were just going to get knowledge. It was like, could you please go away, stop touching the well, like it makes the talking head upset, right? And so
I thought it was going to be like a play on words, and she just like guards a library as a security guard.
Well, so in the Well of Knowledge, obviously at one point it's kind of like, okay, I need you to bring me more because I need more knowledge. And so one of the things that she does is, for the Well Master, she guards the place and then she brings books. So he sends her out to go for quests and stuff like that. But because she's Ghost, her actual name is Dragurok, which is a really dirty word in Norse because they think the undead are very unclean, right? And it's
so that'd be like her name's Slut in Norse, or basically.
It's
zombie slut.
Yeah, zombie horror or something like that.
Like unclean, like the way the word unclean is used in like Christianity kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's got two forms. She's got the one that you see, which basically is how she gets close to her prey, because if I look like prey, I can grab prey and eat it, right? And then she has like her actual monster form. And what happens is, if she doesn't eat very often, she gets a really bad case of hangry, which basically means she turns into her monster self and just eats until she's satisfied, and then she comes back to herself and she's like, I just killed a whole bunch of people and I feel kind of bad.
Yeah. As you do.
Yeah.
So does she direct her appetites towards any one specific type of person, or is it just first come first serve?
I'll give you the spoiler. So in the very first chapter, I actually answer that question. So in the very beginning of the book, she goes to this old folks home, and she's there to pick up a person. And the person she's there to pick up is somebody who was dropped off by the family, doesn't get visits outside of the doctor and the chaplain, and she's pretty much forgotten. So when she takes that lady from her medical bed to eat her, it's because nobody's going to care that she's gone, right? And that person's also like at the end of their life, so she's not taking like a child or anything like that, and so she's kind of like on diet soul food at that point. So at this stage, that's what she's trying to do, but she's been around for a while. So like at one point, she was just like, I'm just gonna kill everybody and eat them, and I don't care, right? Like she's gone through like all those phases, and now she's like in her like, I think I'm a bad person phase.
She's like reflecting. It's like, oh, did I do? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I feel kind of bad.
She's honest. She's like, I'm trying to be good. One more.
Yeah.
Just one last time. One more.
Very cool.
It's like an Underworld when it's revealed that Victor would occasionally like binge on a village full of people. And that's how he killed Salim's parents.
Yeah. But I won't spoil that part of her development, but she did meet somebody at one point that made her go like, I think I might need to change. I think the way I'm doing things is not working. Right. And that's not in this book, but that is something that happens prior. But you can kind of see in the Mayhem anthology, there's a short story in there. It's called Salem Times. And it's basically when she was like, went to a place during the Salem witch trials. And she basically just does bad things to bad people, and she's kind of like, no, that felt pretty good. That was good. Yeah. We can do that again.
And that person she met was Jesus Christ. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, continue, Jarrod. What do you have?
What is your what is her like? Talk to me about her monster form. Like, what does that look like? What does she do with it? Like, does she have to assume the monster form to eat? And
yes, I'm trying to see. Actually, scroll up and go ahead and just click on Queen of Swords and Silence. Just click on it. Click on. Is it not working? My website broke, guys. Oh no.
I have it on Amazon. If
no, because that should have taken.
You need the image, right?
Can you scroll down just a little bit? I'm wondering if scroll down. Okay. I think what happened is my website is not working. So let me see if I can pull it up. But I do have the monster form for you if you want to see it.
Yeah.
That black and white one is actually supposed to take you to the graphic novel first chapter if you wanted to see it. But I see that things are not working, which explains a lot of different things.
Wait, you have the whole last graphic novel out for it?
First chapter.
Still sick.
Turning how long is your novel? How many words?
It has 110,000 words, and that was after I was told to shorten it.
That's a bold. Yeah, because like one chapter can be like 40 pages of a graphic novel. So
yeah, when you're doing an adaptation from long form to graphic novel, like it's real art, because like there's some nuances that happen with long form that you want to be able to put into the graphic novel, but it's just sometimes it doesn't fit, you know.
Yeah.
So like the part of the secret sauce is some stories in long form are more adaptable to comic form than others. Certain ones are not easy or good to adapt into a visual medium, in my opinion. Especially a lot of ones that have a lot of internal stuff, it's a lot of internal contemplation. Those rarely translate well to a visual medium. They just don't, because it's all about the inner world of that character, and it's hard to represent that in a comic form, in my opinion.
Yeah, you literally would have to there'd be text boxes everywhere or thought bubbles. And you have to convey that a certain way too.
Yeah, you'd have to basically be a Marvel writer.
Yeah, some vision. You need some vision, basically. With your
I think the person who does the adaptation really well is Jim Butcher. He does it really well.
Jim Butcher is the GOAT. I love that. I love his books. Sorry.
Okay, I got it. I found it, guys. I found it. Now I'm gonna share it.
Share your there. Wait. There. Wait. No, that's not right.
I haven't shared it yet. Give me a minute. give me 1 second. I'm gonna share it. Okay. All right, there you go.
Perfect. Let's see. Ooh,
nice.
You got to be careful though with the modern reading audiences. There are women out there who look at that and say,
"Yeah,
if you're brave."
Yeah, if you're brave enough. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see it because of the shading in it, but she's got those two big arms, and then under in the darkness of her underbelly, she's got two other arms that are there.
Like little.
Yeah.
I knew it.
She has a tail too.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, you need those little arms to like hold your person.
That's exactly what they're for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bite their head off.
Yeah.
And then the big arms are actually for probably for movement. And correct me if I'm wrong. Movement really quickly, obviously bullying other creatures, so like defense and stuff like that. So,
So like
those are the sandwich arms.
Yeah, got little sandwich arms and got like the I have to beat you up arms. Yeah.
So like a normal human man like meets her and he's like, oh man, she's something. Step on me, queen, and she transforms. Never mind.
Quit. Yeah, a little bit of like Black Widow energy going on there a little bit, if you think in a certain way. I mean,
like the spider Black Widow,
caffeinated wolf.
Yeah, not the character.
I'm gonna say that how he would. Let me think. That's some creepy shit. I work with a lot of people who like creepy shit.
That inflection was actually pretty on point.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andrew. Thank you for finding the typo, Bill. I will fix it later.
Bill's good with that. And Kahuna, on what you were saying about those brave enough to conquer this woman. I was just talking to Gino on the Discord.
Pause. I worry I'm building an online reputation I don't want. It's been like 3 days in a row now. Anyway, continue.
Well, I just saw, and this must be true because I saw it on Twitter. I was talking to Gino on the Discord about it. Shrekking is a thing now. You can get Shrek'd.
D. Gray, that is an opinion you hold, but you have not seen the things. Yeah, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
That's like your opinion, man. It's like totally your opinion.
I've seen Pumpkin Man threesomes. I've seen things you wouldn't.
Pumpkin Man threesomes. Oh my god, it's like wheezing from Pokemon. Oh,
I don't.
No.
We're not gonna ruin Carrow's book image. With this discussion, but I do really like this image. I dig the art. Do you have other art from the book that you can share, or that would be non-spoilery, or?
Maybe here. Let me take my screen down real quick. The monster was something the artist and I had to go back and forth on because he was like, "Well, it's not very sexy." I was like, "That's the point, my man."
Yeah. Take her off full screen so she can look around.
Oh yeah. 1 second. Or like the whole Peter. I used to be able to do all the Family Guy characters. You know the ones that are hard, the ordinary voices like Brian. Brian is hard if you're doing multiple voices and going back and forth.
Because it's just Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, it's just his voice, but then it doesn't sound quite right. I end up sounding more like Joe, which is closer to my own voice anyway. Oh! Sorry.
Freaking Joe.
I meant to lean away. I forgot.
I'm pretty sure you actually lean forward. Thank you.
I'm gonna clip that and use it in a song. Yeah. But yeah, Carrow, is your ultimate goal like animation then, or maybe even movies?
Creatively.
Or are you just happy pumping up books and maybe the occasional comic?
I want to do more comics. That's what I really want to do. I like long prose. I think they have a time and place. But like comics is really what I want to do. Is there a physical copy? Yes, on Amazon. If you want to bring the thing back up, I can show you more stuff. But no, it's like I don't know if I have the chops for film. I was talking to somebody at one point about doing more film related stuff, but it ended up falling through. But from what I understand, it's the way it was explained to me is the script that you write will not be the product at the end because of basically all the hands that are involved with it and how it changes and all that.
Also, it's a necessity. Sometimes you're working on something, and you're like, this doesn't work the way I envisioned it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I ask because, me in particular, I'm constantly trying to like punch up a little bit in a way where it's like I got my music, I got my books, which in hindsight, kind of stupid to start with a full-length novel, but that's what I did. I got it done, but that is to say, like I'm getting into comics too, and even
I like the style. It feels very horror manga-ish to me, and in the way it's paneled and black and white, obviously.
Can we zoom in on that?
Which one? This one?
Just on all of them, really.
Yeah.
I was going to ask earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh yeah, all I'm trying to say is I'm constantly trying to work towards more comics and then eventually animation, and just kind of constantly punching up is why I ask. But ultimately, I would actually be very happy just doing like short story anthologies and then adapting those into comics. Personally,
only the nurses, doctor, and a chaplain visit her. Sometimes her case manager shows up, but not enough.
Sounds terrible when you read it that way.
It's like Vampire Nurse. Dear Diary. Wait, I can do a different voice.
Yeah, so like this.
Her popularity should give me some breathing room. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like this panel. So like I didn't make this. This is actually what the publisher made, and they sent it to me when we broke up. It was pretty. It wasn't a clean breakup, guys. It was pretty dirty.
Weird.
No, that's not Evan Scale. His name was Ken. He was the guy who did my tarot cards too. But Ken,
yeah, for your tarot card book, right?
Yeah. So yeah, because I have like this thing about tarot cards, and so I got to the point where everybody was like, you know so much, you should write a book. And I was like, okay, cool. So I wrote a book, and then I had illustrations of each card put in there. And at some point, like I'll turn them into a deck, but I don't understand. Like I guess that's the right way to say it. I don't understand how to make the deck, because every time I try and look up how to make tarot card decks, it gets like into this really convoluted thing. And I think that there's like some weird bureaucracy gatekeeping going on. And I don't want any part of it. So I'm like, one day, but not today.
All right, don't worry. We'll tell you. We'll tell you how. Just send us your social security number.
That cell right there is really cool.
Yeah.
I like how they did her eye, because like it could just be a normal human eye, but she is technically a monster, and it looks a little monstery in this image as well, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Oh, Kev, that's his name. Kev did really good. I mean, Kev and I had to go back and forth. Like in the book, Ghost actually has really long hair, but he gave her this bob cut, and I was kind of like, that's not how she is in the book, man. And like literally, I have written her as having like butt length hair, right? And he was like, well, it doesn't look stylish and all this other stuff. And it's like one of those things, like you got to pick your battles, right? And I had already just got into him with it about like the monster form thing. So I was like, you know what? I want the monster fight. You want her to have bob hair, whatever. It's not like a hill I want to die on.
That's why whenever you have, I because I've only ever hired my own artists, I always find people who are somewhat in alignment with me, because if I find someone I trust, I give them enough of my vision that they have an idea of it. Mm-hmm. I love to be able to give my art, like an artist or my artist, like as much free reign as possible, because they have good creative ideas too that I don't always anticipate. But if they don't have kind of an alignment of vision with you, or if they have a very different understanding of what's going on, like, because this is your book, you have a vision of what it all looks like, and then they're in conflict with you, and it doesn't always make for a good relationship there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an indie, you can do that. But I'll be honest with you, when you work in like the industry, sometimes you get to talk and work with your artist, and sometimes you turn in the script, and like at some point the comic will come out. You won't be involved with that process at all. So if you want that creative control and that creative responsibility, then you also have to be, financially accountable for it too. But when you're working with somebody else that's footing the bill, you have to kind of work with them. So. And the big reason Kevin and I ended up having conversations was because he just wasn't sure how to do like some of the initial design. So we had to talk, but like after that, like I wasn't part of it. So.
And how is that? Don't get into it if you can't, but like at Ripaverse, how does that kind of work? Like how many people creatively have their hand in a given pie at a given moment and have like creative say?
It really depends. So right now the process is the writer turns in the script. I ask if there's anything in particular that they want to make sure is emphasized on. They tell me, and then that's pretty much it. When we did the Saints and Sinners trilogy, we did send pages to the writers at that time to kind of like show them the stuff and get their feedback. And that actually bogged down the process a lot, because a lot of these guys, it was their first time writing. And so when they wrote the script, basically what they had written as their description is what the artist did. But they're like, oh, but that's not what I envisioned. So change this entire page. And I was like, bro, like.
Pump your brakes, kid.
Yeah. So
and I think the haircut thing is also just like an odd hill to die on from the other guy's perspective.
How dare you, old man? I swear to God, when you are of age, I am putting you in a home.
Hey,
love you, Hedge.
Don't you sass Herman.
He's a national treasure.
I will go to the mats with anybody over Herman. Leave that man alone.
He is an attractive man. Moving on. I love this show, man. It's so much fun. Carrow, thank you for putting up with this nonsense. This is fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on too.
Yeah.
No, you have a lot of books going on here. I'm curious what's Tiger Woman about?
Oh, okay. So first off, somebody was asking about one of my other books. If it says Faye Black on there, that's my romance smut that's in there. And sometimes I will write that just because like I just need to write something that's easy for me to write. And I hate saying it, but smut's like really fucking easy to write.
Once you get the formula and the language down, it's not.
Surely you just.
But so Tiger Woman is actually a story that I wanted to write because I worked in Japan for a little while, and I wanted to write this story about like a Japanese person and an American person, like, getting together. And one of the things I thought would be fun is if it was like a ramen shop owner and getting together with like, somebody that's on a visa, right? Because then you have like a time requirement, some other stuff. But
that also has underlying tension because they may not be here forever. Also, there's that.
Yeah, that's the time thing. Yeah. And one of the things that I actually wanted to kind of focus on, not to be like, kind of weird with it, but the guy in the story is coming from an abusive relationship. So like, the woman that he was with before like was emotionally abusive, would throw things at him. And so he's trying to relearn that he is a person of value and that is lovable with somebody who's completely foreign. Right. And I wanted to play with that concept a little bit, because I don't think that particular talking point is in romance novels a lot. And part of it, I think, is because there's like this stereotype that happens in romance novels where even though women want to write men as like vulnerable and in touch with their emotions, they don't want to depict scenes where they're actually like weak in these situations, right?
It's like, I'm so deep.
Yeah.
Bad family growing up. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
have really a nice hot sex scene now.
Well, yeah, even in Good Will Hunting, a lot of it was kind of alluded to in a lot of ways, and they even hung a lantern on joking about it in the hypnotist scene when he's like, "Oh, he's touching me down there."
Yeah, because when I was in the military, we had a we had a safety briefing, and right before that, I was talking to one of the guys, and he had like a bandage like right coming, like I could see in like his uniform, and I was like, "Hey man, you okay?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just going through some stuff right now," and I was like, "Okay, that was it." But I'll never forget like this moment. Like it's always sat with me. So we had this safety briefing. And in the briefing, at one point, somebody was like, "Does anybody want to mention anything that they want to share, or anything like that?" And he was like, "You know what? Yeah. So I recently had this encounter with the police because my wife stabbed me with a knife, and I called the police. And at first, they arrested me before they figured out that she was the one that was trying to kill me, and then arrested her. Right." And I was like, "That's fucking terrible." But then the other terrible thing that happened was the woman next to me. She's like, "Well, I got a question for you." And he was like, "Okay, what's the question?" She's like, "Well, what did you do to piss off your woman? Because no woman stabs her man unless he deserves it." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding?" Yeah.
What were you wearing?
Mean?
Yeah.
What were you wearing?
You obviously wanted it.
Yeah. You obviously.
Yeah. He was wearing a white shirt. It's asking for color.
Yeah.
It's begging for it.
Yeah, the conversation completely changed, but I was just like so blown away from that moment, because first off, like he was being honest, he was being vulnerable, he was like expressing like this thing, and she's like, it's your fault because you're a dude. And I was like, what the fuck?
Which is exactly the kind of shit that keeps men from speaking up.
Yeah.
Well, and ironically, what kind of like more extreme feminists like to accuse all men of doing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, shitty people are shitty people, right? But yeah, like
men are rarely rewarded for their vulnerability.
True.
Or rare, or even more rare, not lambasted for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's something always requested and very seldomly wanted, or very seldom authentically wanted by an individual. I'm very comfortable sharing fairly personal things online. I've done it a fair few times now, but I'm fucking 31. I've been divorced. I've gone through all this crap. I'm not going to be, I'm not worried about what some online Yahoo's going to say about me. And so like it's very easy for me to share those things, and I think it's valuable, but I understand why so many guys don't do it. It's a rough gig.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play with the cultural aspect as well? Because Japanese culture is so wildly different from American culture in almost every conceivable way. So I'm sure you had a lot of fun with that as well.
Yeah, because I lived there for 5 years, and so
that's a long time.
Yeah, damn. So like as a foreigner that was there, I encountered a lot of things. I didn't put them all in the book, but like one of the things that I experienced was at one point, like I got on a train on my day off to go somewhere. It was in the morning when people were obviously going to school and work and things like that. And so when I was standing there, I was just holding onto the rail, and I noticed like a whole bunch of schoolgirls had gotten behind me, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Right. And I'm already like this taller than most Japanese guys. Right. And so it was just weird to have like these girls huddled around me. And so when I got off the train and I went and met up with my friend, I was like, I had the weirdest fucking experience. Like I was crowded by schoolgirls, and they were like, yeah, they're hiding behind you so that way the pervert doesn't stick their hand up their skirts. And I was like, what?
Wow. So you became a hero in that moment.
I had no idea. I was just standing there being like, there are 5 high school girls behind me. I have no idea what's going on.
They look at you, they're like, it's a Valkyrie.
It's an Amazon. Yeah, there's a fucking Amazon on the train. We're going to stand right here.
That's happened in anime I've watched too, like where there's a guy or a girl who's just like a nice person and they look nice, but they're also like big. And it's like, hey, get the pervert, go.
Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah, so when I see like those moments happen in anime, I was like, no, that's still a thing. Like nothing has changed.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Japan? Like what in what capacity were you working?
I was in the military, so I was stationed there. And so we spent a lot of time watching Korea, making sure that they weren't doing crazy stuff. But I mean, they always did crazy stuff. So like we would open up like the incident report and be like, Emperor so-and-so came out, fired a gun in the air and said, I will bomb America. It's like, okay, cool. It's Tuesday, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
He's just a concerned citizen. Moving on. No.
Yeah. Obama sure didn't care. He was like making fun of.
It's like people on Twitter, but what were his motives?
Yeah. What?
Gee Willikers, I don't know.
Yeah,
they're clearly mentally ill. They're clearly mentally ill.
Yeah, this is when like Bush was in office. So like, and so like when Bush was in office, like at one point I was kind of, I'm kind of embarrassed that this man's my president, right? But then he went and did like a tour or something in Turkey, and they started throwing shoes at him, and so he did just start swatting them away. He was like, "No, he's pretty cool." Never mind.
That's very based, America.
Well, it's like like no one beats Reagan. It's like a balloon popped right after he survived an assassination attempt. A balloon popped and it sounded like a gunshot. He's like, missed. It keeps going. I'm like, what?
Damn,
boss.
Damn.
Say what you want. Like, oh yeah, if you guys haven't seen the Reagan movie, with what's his face, you definitely should. It came out a couple years ago. It's really, really excellent. Really
how about was it Teddy Roosevelt literally getting shot and then going out and giving the speech right after, and like
he still went out. He's like, no, I gotta go talk, guys. Let's go.
That's how he opened it. He's
like,
I just got
hail
shot.
honorable mayor.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I read that wrong. I read that as I saw the North Korean spy vessels get baptized out of existence. That's what I heard. I'm like, what do you
cool
mean?
Image.
Oh, it's okay. There we go.
Cool imagery. Holy damage.
Oh, did you guys? I think it's a meme, but there's this guy. His daughter said she really wanted a K-pop Demon Hunters themed birthday, and so that's like K-pop Korean. Okay, so he had a picture of like Kim Jong Un up there, and the cake was just dude, it was so bad. It was not even close to what she wanted. But I'm like, this is funny. You will remember this terrible birthday longer than any of your good birthdays. I guarantee it. But yeah, you have a nice variety that you've written. Now, with your persona Faye Black, or your pseudonym, so to say, is it all kind of like etchier kind of writing, or is there any clean writing by Faye Black as well?
No, there's no clean writing. This is a filthy place. Okay.
I'm asking the question.
It's fine. No, I probably if you like smut with plot, that one you got right there, roll D20 for love. That's probably got like,
That's probably a fun book.
It's definitely bang for your buck plot there.
Get it.
I get
it. Get it.
Yeah, I've written a couple of romance novels. It started off, I think, when I broke up with my second publisher. That was the ugly one. I was just like, I just need to write something and just feel accomplished and just shove it out there, right? And so that's when Faye Black was born, because I was originally just going to write it under Carrow Brown, but like one of my friends who works for a romance publisher, she was like, no, you have to have two names. You can't have the same name for two different genres.
Yes,
it will
Dennis
confuse
Quaid,
the readers.
that's the one I was talking about. Anyway.
So I made Faye Black because Carrow Brown, Faye Black. My next name will be something Violet. Don't worry. But I did that, and every now and then, what was it? I was trying to test an algorithm theory with Amazon. It turned out to be true. But basically, Amazon will promote your work if you actually publish something once a week, right? And so, yeah.
Weird.
And so what I did was I made about 19 short stories for Faye Black, because again, that's the easier stuff for me to write. And so I tested it, and sure enough, like my stuff got promoted. It had bigger reach, all that other stuff. But the problem is that, the only other way that I could make, short stories like really kind of enticing for people is I had to make them cheap. And so I only had them for like maybe 99 cents. But the thing is, like, if I wanted to make a story that wasn't complete dog shit, I have to invest in it. So I have to pay an editor. I have to get a cover. And the average price for each of those short stories is like $150. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it worked. So interesting experiment at least.
It kind of worked because I went from making like $5 a month to $30 a month. But when you make 18 stories times 150, it's like, it's just not adding up.
That math ain't mathin'.
Yeah, not mathing well. So I remember I was so discouraged after like that happened. I was like, I'm just gonna give up. Like I'm gonna go find like a job, like a regular job, and I started working in like healthcare for a caregiving agency.
Ew.
Yeah, so I did that. And I can't remember what it was. Something happened. It was the spark that made Roll D20 for Love, where I was like, oh, you know what? That's a really cool story, right? Like that was my thought. And then the next week, I just wrote the whole thing, right? Like I wrote like all like 70,000 words, and then I was like, man, what the fuck am I gonna do with these 70,000 words? Like, why did I do this? And then I sent it to an editor, and then I edited it, and then I paid somebody to make the cover, and then it was published. I was like, I don't know why I did that.
But, well, you like it. Do you have a story that's your favorite?
That would probably be it. That was the story that got me out of my writing depression.
See, it's partially circumstance, but I still haven't found that story for me. I wrote a whole like old lore now, but I wrote a whole ass novel back in the day. I think it was something between 90 and 150,000 words, depending on which draft it was, and then someone I was with at the time deleted it on purpose. The whole thing, got rid of every single thing.
That's hurt.
I was not thrilled.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
That's no good.
And afterwards, I'm like, man, I will rewrite this story at some point. But yeah, so for me, my next challenge, I need to get an at-home office. That's the only way I can do it. I can't do it on my phone. My office is too far away. I have kids. It doesn't work. I have to be. Actually, that's the perfect response. Oof. That's how I respond.
Yeah. Was the Phantom Deleter a female by chance?
Yes, we were married. It was
oh wow, how strange.
Dude, you have shite taste, man.
Deport them all. Deport all the retards. No, no, that's frustrating.
Big Tylenol fan.
Yeah. No, that's really frustrating to hear though too, because it's like there really is a lot of like, for simple as a book seems, it's just like a collection of words. Like you said, Carol, what am I going to do with these 70,000 words just sitting here? There's just a bunch of words over here. What do I do with it? It seems simple, but it just takes years sometimes. As we see from some bigger names who probably won't ever finish their series, but like, yeah, some people literally sit on books for years.
And truth is, like some of the bigger authors are the authors who write like mad and have dozens of unpublished books. Sometimes those books aren't worth publishing.
Yep. And then an army of editors.
Like a certain Brandon Sanderson story that got turned into a graphic novel.
Yeah,
I've read a lot.
Story? Is it
it's White Sands. I have a video where I talk about it with Joe actually that I'll have to re-release here soon. But it's like very good author, but that is maybe his worst written work that I've found so far.
What was John Douglas's quote up there just a minute ago? What was his?
Oof.
What did he say? No, the one after that.
Oh, listen, as someone whose early novels were destroyed by an act of God, sometimes it's for the best. No, he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
God looked down and he said, "No more orc smut."
No, this is too powerful to be kept alive. No, you can ask anybody, and even new authors can acknowledge this as like it's a pretty common saying. Like the first draft is always bad. Right.
It's absolute trash.
Yeah, your first book is
unreadable. Yeah, it should be terrible.
There's some unicorns, but like those unicorns are usually
those
still
people are filthy
edited.
fucking liars. They are filthy fucking liars. They're like, oh yeah, I got it right the first draft. Like that's complete bullshit.
Yeah, there's totally not 20 editors.
Totally Great. I agree. Martin has no excuse. He's beyond redemption. Patrick Rothfuss. Yeah, I don't know. They've both lied. I think that the lies of Rothfuss have been a little more direct
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I want to do this and I hope I get to do this. It'll probably come out this time. He's like, no, I will release these chapters, and we're gonna if we raise enough money for this charity that I'm supporting. Oh, you raised the money, cool. Never releases it.
Rothfuss is less forgiving
Yeah.
because he's not as old and he's not doing as much.
Yeah,
what are you doing,
Martin is
Rothfuss,
still
man?
working. He's just not
he's
writing
still
those books.
Yeah, he's still doing stuff.
And he's old as fuck. Martin is just like an old, bigger guy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's probably tired, man. He wrote Game of Thrones is like 92. You know, it's
Yeah.
92.
It's always strange because like all publishing houses have ghostwriters, right? And
I
so-
hate. Can I? Sorry, Breakin. I hate the idea of ghostwriting. All right, continue.
I mean, I do it. That's
I-
how
I-
that's
that's
how I make
fine.
some of my money.
I know a lot of. I have a couple friends who do ghostwriting. I don't like the idea of an unacknowledged writer giving someone else the credit for their own writing. Does that?
Oh man,
is that
don't
fair?
worry. I get paid handsomely to not give a fuck. So
I know, but I still don't like it. It hurts my soul.
How much money is it going to take?
Well, do you do ghostwriting fiction or nonfiction?
Fiction. So usually what happens is I work with directors who've got a screenplay that they did a movie for, and they're kind of like, yeah, we want to adapt this into a film. I'm like, okay, cool. And so like I'll read like the synopsis of it, and sometimes I'll be like, I'm not your writer for this, or sometimes I am. But like if they come to me like, yeah, and I want you to write this just like so and so, it's like, well, I mean, I can try. I'm not so and so, but let's give it a shot. But I think it's a little bit easier with screenplays because I don't have to sit there and like with George R. Martin, I'm pretty sure he doesn't even have a fucking outline because he's a goddamn pantser, and I can't respect pantsers. I'm sorry. If you are a pantser, you're beautiful and wonderful. I don't respect you.
That's why he's not finishing it, because there's no outline. But continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, if he at least made an outline saying like, okay, I actually want so-and-so to get with so-and-so and they have a kid and they defeat this bad guy and then that's it, right? And then just give it to the ghostwriter and walk off, then the fans would have their conclusion.
Yep.
And, it can even come out and basically, George can be kind of like, I'm sorry, guys, I was just so old in my arthritis, I couldn't type anymore. It's like, it's okay, George, we'll forgive you because at least we have the fucking book.
Yeah.
After
Go cry
talking
with your
to-
millions.
After talking and listening to Mike, who did the art for Hedge Knight, I think he's spot on with this, and he's saying that George, he became discouraged when he saw either what happened when they adapted his story or when they butchered his ending with the TV show, and it kind of sucked the creative juice out, like the creative motivation for him to finish the story. Because it's like he's still working, and it's clear he still can work and does good work. He just does. I don't think he wants to. I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze for him to finish that series, and I think that's honestly it.
Well, and nobody
ahead.
gets his estate, so it's like that's going to be it. He's going to die. We won't get the end, and it will just turn into fan fiction hell.
Yep.
I have personally lost all interest. I'm 100% apathetic when it comes to the entire Game of Thrones universe, and I am of the opinion that he saw what happened, what Dan and Dave dipshits did with the end of season 8, and it's not that they butchered it. I don't think they butchered it. I think they did his ending. They just did it poorly, and he saw people hated it, and
now he's scared.
He has no idea what to do because
That's what
he's a freaking burnout nihilist. He doesn't know how to write a satisfying ending to a story that where people are going to be like, this ending was worth this entire 7-book saga to get to. He doesn't know how to. He can't. I personally, this is what I think. I think he can't do that. He has no idea how, because he has nothing outside of himself. He's a self-absorbed nihilist, and so what's he going to do? What incentive does he have to do this? Because he knows his ending, people hated it, and his story is so big, the sprawl is so wide, he has no idea how to rein it into anything else.
You know where I think he made a mistake? This is controversial. I think Game of Thrones should have been a trilogy, and I think originally when he started, I think he meant for it to be a trilogy.
It was the plan. Yeah.
Because like if you read the first 3 books, it
Very
feels
good.
like a really like concise, like controlled narrative. It feels narratively really consistent in those first 3 books. It's only in book 4 and 5, where things kind of start getting weird and spread out and convoluted, and
well, George isn't the only victim of that. So what happens is that when publishers and agents see that a story is doing really well, they're like, "Can you stretch that out? Can you make it longer?" And you see that a lot with urban fantasy written by women the most, because like I use this example all the time because she's just the worst.
I wonder if I've read her.
I don't know. We'll find out. But her name is Jenna Frost, and she wrote a really good book called One Foot in the Grave. And I actually really liked that book. Like I read it and I was like, wow, this is pretty good, right? I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh man, knock my socks off and blah, blah, blah. It's not that good. It was good enough where I was like, I want to get book 2, right? And that's pretty good. But I got book 2, and book 2 was kind of trash. But I was kind of like, you know what? It's your second book. You probably rushed it. Even Jim Butcher, when he did one of his books, I was like, not my favorite book, but
he has 18 Dresden File books. They're not all bangers. Some of them are
21.
a little...
He's got 21 out now.
Oh, Christ!
Catch up, scrub. Come on. But when I got to book 3, I was like, the writing had taken a serious dip to the point where I was like, I don't know if I want to read this anymore. And so I thought maybe like her heart wasn't in it anymore. So I read a different book that kind of took place in that universe. It was even worse. And so it just became clear to me that they were just using her as like a content cow to just push out books and see if the
dance monkey dance.
Yeah. And it was so bad. And I find that a lot with writers right now, like that she's the most notorious. The Guilty Pleasures story is also like that. I really like Mercedes Thompson, but Mercedes Thompson's also suffers from that a little bit. Like after book 8, it's kind of like, stories can't end. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. And
high praise, Mayor.
And if a story is a standalone, just because you can write more about it doesn't mean that you should. I've criticized anime and American TV shows for this. It's like some of them are done without an end in mind or with no end in sight. Like I'm talking to you, One Piece, your filthy freaking fans. Like what, a couple thousand chapters in now, no end in sight, not even close. Also, Herman came in earlier and said, "I'm a pantser." There's a big critical difference, Herman. You are a very good writer, and you finish your crap in a timely fashion, and I enjoy your work.
Filthy.
Yes.
Filthy pantser.
He's just a filthy pantser. Should have had some more coffee.
His mom had a lot of Tylenol. It's fine.
How about them apples? Actually, with his hip surgery, he could probably use some Tylenol right now. But
no, I mean, if we're being real, like everybody kind of pantses at some point, even if it's during the outline writing. Because I mean, really, I geek out so hard writing my outlines. That's where the writing is actually happening.
I did not write this. This was AC. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that was AC. Yeah, I'm coming for that ass, George. Phrasing. But the writing process, as far as like the outline, that's where like the story is really like the bones are coming together, and there's still like it's a trap. There's still like a complete story being made, and it's like taking shape, right? So you get kind of that dopamine hit of like finishing the creating something new, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
AC, I have children. I always finish. Anyway, what were you saying, Carrow?
Your pull-out game is weak.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't exist. I'm so sorry. Carrow, continue.
Yeah.
In that light, yes, you are correct. The big difference I always find between outliners and pantsers is where the effort is put in. So with outliners, the effort for the story is put at the beginning because they're trying to go over everything, where pantsers have to do it in the revision process because they go down so many rabbit trails and everything else. They have to go back, edit, cut, edit, where outliners just do it in the beginning. And I even do that with, like, if I write it, like one of the contracts I wrote was for a director that wanted to do 3 books. And so I was like, okay, but I have to outline it. It's like, oh no, like we're just going to kind of wing it. And I was like, no, like we're not doing that.
That's kind of a douche move for them to encourage a writer to, like, cause like, what if a writer isn't aware, right? Like a new writer, like let's say they got lucky, their agent landed them a deal. And then the new company is just like, just go wing it. Just go wing it, bro. Like, just go do it.
And also, I think it's really hard to be a pantser and I think it's very hard to be a pantser and a professional. I kind of don't think you can legitimately be a professional writer and also a pantser.
That's why
I think it's a very that like have you guys ever heard the conversation, recorded conversation on YouTube between him and Stephen King? It's really, really illuminating. And Stephen King breaks it down really, really effectively. He's basically saying, like George asked him how he writes books so fast. He's like, well, George, I'm I'm doing George's voice. Not like you, but I'm a professional. I wake up, I have hours that I work. I treat it like a job. And that's why that's why I write so many books. And he broke it down all the way and it was really detailed. I'm like, say what you want about Stephen King. He is a professional. He writes his ass off.
He's a pantser too. He hates outlining. He says outlining takes the spirit of the story from him, so he can't do it. But he also has to revise like a motherfucker all the time.
And also, his endings are famous for a reason. Not good, but famous.
I guess I'm a hybrid. Then I'm somewhere in between. I probably lean a little bit more toward an outline. But I did
better hybrid than inbred.
So for for the book I wrote 3 chapters before I did an outline. Then I did an outline. Then I rewrote the 3 chapters. Then I started writing the rest of the stuff. And as I got through my outline, I would revise my outline because the story was going different places. But I still was operating off of that. So I used the outline as a map with alternate routes to get to the end, because I know how each book ends, and I know where the trilogy ends, and so I allow for some flexibility in there. But when I started this, the script for the new film, I outlined the entire thing before I started writing the script, and then I started writing the script, and then I realized that the script was going to change to make the ending satisfying. I had to change it according to where the script had taken me. So I changed it, but I still had the outline to operate from. So the structure wise was still there. And so, yeah, I guess you
can be both. Like you can't just be one or the other. Like, and the nice thing about outlines is when you work with an editor, like a lot of them will be kind of like, do you have your outline? Like, can I refer to that to just make sure that you are going in the direction that you think you're going? Because that happens sometimes where like a writer will be like, okay, so like in this part, like they had this fight and then this big character moment happened and then we move on to the next chapter. And so the editor will come in and see the outline, read the chapter and be like, that happened in here. It didn't happen on here.
Herman, this is technically an outline. It's the most bare bones outline of all time.
That's what I'm saying is like, at what degree does the pantsing stop and the outlining begin? Because like I said, like you're even pantsing the outline. And like for me, for instance, I mean, this may just be weird for a weird thing I do, but like dialogue in particular, I find it incredibly difficult to just plan.
I don't do that.
Very few people plan dialogue. They might have a certain line in mind, but they don't plan dialogue typically. Yeah,
they're gonna talk about this. I know I want this to be said. How do we get there? And then it's just like it's tricky, man. The first time, because I was trying to plan everything and outline everything at first, and it was just like those moments. I even had to skip a couple scenes and just make a mark to come back. Conversation here, and then just move on.
Yeah, that's normal though.
Yeah.
I think certain writers need this is a minority of writers that I've known and talked to. Some people need to be a little less strict with their planning. Some people are they'll outline as a way to try to delay actually being creative.
Yeah. World builder's disease.
It's kind of like world builder's disease, or it's like an offshoot of that. But I find that more authors and writers would benefit from learning how to outline. Like Otter is a good, like I'm talking about him a lot, but we're friends and we've talked, and he has a new book coming out. So
He looks
talked
just
about
like
how-
an otter. I got
He
to
does.
meet him. I was like, wow, you really do look like a fucking otter.
Fucking otter.
he's so little. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's absolutely charming. He really
Yeah,
is.
yeah, good guy.
I mean, I forced him to sign my book. He was like, I brought you this. And I was like, and
That's
you're going
cool.
to fucking sign it.
I bet that was a cool moment for him.
Oh,
That's awesome.
He lives too far away from me. All those East Coasters and Southerners I haven't met. Like all the Texas and Florida people I haven't met in person. It's a damn shame. There's so many of them.
Yeah, no, it was our first MegaCon, and I was so stressed during that MegaCon because they gave us this tiny booth, and I was like, no, this isn't gonna work. And so they were like, no, you'll be fine. You're not gonna get that many people. We got so many people. We got so many people that the fire marshal we were on first name basis. His name was Liam, okay, and I felt really bad that Liam and I had to talk so often about the line that we had, and so.
Not your fault.
Yeah, like I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like I've asked for help so many times and nobody listened to me. And at one point, like when I was like, I was line managing one line, and of course, like Otter came up and he was like, "Are you so and so?" And I was like, "Yeah. What do you want?" Right? And he was
What do
like,
you want?
"Yeah." And he's like,
What do you want?
He's like, "I'm so and so." I was like, "Oh my god!" And like, there's a hug and
That's
books
cool.
and stuff like that. And I was like, "Man, I'd love to talk to you more, but you got to go talk to Eric and get the fuck out." So go.
No, that's great. Yeah, no, it's like almost nobody lives in Washington. Like I got what's his face? Tenkage, he lives in Eastern Washington, and then Maji lives in Washington too. So I'll see her every now and again, but she's basically Canadian with where she lives, unfortunately. It's so far away. It's a long drive. Oh.
But going back to the outline thing, I mean, how you outline is really up to you. For me, usually what I do, it depends on what it is. So if it's a book, I'm just trying to make sure that I've got like those important beats that are in there. And then like if I feel like there's a need to write like a descriptor on there for future me to remember what past me was thinking, I'll put that in there. But like most of the time it's like it's beats, 3 bullet points, moving on. And I think the only exception I made to that is actually involving the Dirty Deeds comic that I have. And the only reason that's the exception is because I am not the only writer in this universe. So when somebody wants to talk to me about like a certain thing that's going on with what I'm doing, I'm kind of like, no, because like over in like issue 12, like this is going to happen and da 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 da. So like I have to have that ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, so I've been collaborating in secret, got a little secret project going on over here. I was introduced to an artist buddy. Shout outs to Mark Smith. He's a buddy of mine, kind of like a fledgling, aspiring, comic book creator. He's done a couple books in the past, but was just like kind of looking to collaborate with some people. But yeah, anyway, I've been teaching him how to outline because the guy is a phenomenal artist, inker and everything. He can like color it and basically do a lot of it himself, right? And if he can do all that, I know he could at least draw the lettering in there if you can draw the characters. So
Peace out, John. Enjoy a peaceful night in Orc City, which
Hail-
just means half as many fights as normal.
Hail,
And
honorable
good luck
mayor.
with your writing, my friend.
Yes, cheers.
Also, I know you've been doing like the exercise thing recently. Finish your damn book. I want to read your second book.
Yeah. So anyway, I've been teaching him outlining, and it's kind of just fun revisiting some things that I didn't forget them, but they've become distant. Like some key things, like you mentioned, the editing in the front rather than in the back. That was actually something I should have said that instead of just kind of saying that it's a spectrum of pantsing and not pantsing, which is also true. But like I remember that's kind of like a writing turn of phrase, right? Like everybody knows that like pantsers do the editing at this point. But anyway, right. He sent me his outline, and it was just very much a document, just
this thing, then this thing, then this thing.
Yeah. No, not even bullet points, just
like an essay.
Yeah, not indented, nothing. And I'm just like, oh, this is fine. I can read it, and I know what's going to happen in the story. But that's when I was like, consider bullet points. Break it into a certain amount of sections, whether you use like 3x structure, whatever it is, some hybrid, the story circle. because then you know that you have like 3, 4, or 8 different parts. These parts can be broken up into their own acts and story circles if needed, and so on and so forth until you have as detailed of an outline as you need. That's why I said it's interesting. You can't, how hard it is to actually, like, you can't outline the dialogue scene. You're right, that is a normal thing. It's like, because if you're outlining it, you're writing the dialogue scene. So yeah, there you go.
I think it's valuable to go through dialogue afterwards, looking for to break it down into beats. Make sure that there's enough beats in dialogue. Obviously, dialogue can be used cleverly if you're a good writer for some of that world building information, info dumping that you need to do. If you're clever, you can do it in a nice way with dialogue. It's also good just for character building, characterization, but everything in balance. And obviously, I think a lot of that's a bit more genre dependent. Like in
dialogue should always be a fencing contest. It should always be a go back and forth.
It's another saying.
Yeah, but it's because one of probably the wisest writers I ever met once told me, it's like, if you have a book with drama and dialogue, you will have a bestseller, because that's usually what people like to linger on the most. So if you have people fighting and dialoguing at the same time, you've got Dragon Ball Z, but that's also been doing really well last I checked with fans and whatnot.
Yep, I checked.
Yeah, but it's dialogue kind of differs from where you're putting it at. So the way that you treat dialogue in movies is different than how you treat it in long prose and how you treat it in comics. Like comics, I don't have any room to really like put in like the verbal fluff that some people like to do to sound smart, right? You can get away with that in long prose, and then with movies, I think you have a bit more leniency because you're working with actors and the director, and they're using that dialogue to help enhance the scene, because there's a lot of inflection and whatnot that goes into that. So it's serving a different tool. But it still needs to be a fencing contest. Like, I think probably the traditional example that I always use is the dance scene in Pride and Prejudice with Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, because they are definitely doing a tit for tat, going back and forth in that one. But I will say,
I love that book, by the way. Like,
it's a great book.
Unabashedly, it's a fantastic book.
Yeah. But probably the more modern reference that I really enjoyed actually was probably the Sonic the Hedgehog films. The recent ones that came out. If you go and listen to like the dialogue that's going on in there, like it's always some kind of like tension or going back and forth on that.
Yeah, because it keeps movement. Okay. And this actually, what we're talking about tonight is a lot of these core concepts with writing and outlining and planning are why I've grown so attached to like ideas like symbolism. Like it's like a meme here on the channel, and like the symbols,
like the alien memes, but it's just AC, and he's like, symbols.
Tinfoil hat. Let's talk about the symbolism and write for the movie, even though maybe they didn't even intend that to be a metaphor for like the deeper nature of whatever.
Sometimes the blue door is just a blue door, but if there is symbolism to be found, AC is sure to sniff it out.
Right, but so like in this outline process, that's another key thing is like once that's all laid out, I forgot what I was originally getting at with this, but like once it's laid out, you can start, like, you have room to breathe and like analyze the whole thing, and you can actually think of things in the moment. Like, if I describe this a certain way, it creates a sort of like poetic dissonance that's going to like pay off later, and I mean, I feel like all that really shows, whereas like pantsing is good for its own things, right? Like, and by now, since we've kind of established that it's like a spectrum, what pantsing would literally be no plan, like literally, I'm not. Yeah.
I think it's fun to experiment with that for a scene or for a short story. Just like learning what you can learn about yourself when you stretch yourself a little bit, but either way, that's fun. But are there any future projects, Carrow, that you want to share about, either yours or someone else's? Anything? What's on the horizon creatively?
What a question.
It's a tremendous question.
Yeah, because it's like, what can I talk about? What am I allowed to talk about? Right? Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was like,
well,
what? Whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah, so Eric did slip that I do have more Dirty Deeds comics coming out. So if you guys got the Ripazine where you got to meet my Space Ragtag group, that got approved for its own thing. So I do have that showing up at some point in the future. I'm pretty excited about it, but it's not going to be 16 pages. I'm having like a 45-page story in that one. So
yeah, that's
45.
So, that's enough to tell a story. Some people are trying to shove a lot of story into like less than 20 pages or even 24 pages, and I'm like, you can do it, but it gotta be tight timeline there.
Yeah. So it's issue 1 of that, and then if people keep liking it, I get to keep writing it, because that's pretty much how this works. But it's kind of like my tribute to like the old space shows that we used to watch, right? So I've got like some of like those quiet moments, and I've also got some action and things like that, and I've got like, if you go and read it, you're going to see like what my favorite tropes were and how I like managed to like work them all into one story. Like that was my puzzle. I was like, man, I like these 16 tropes. I have to put them in this fucking story and make it work. So let's do this. And so that's what I did. After that, I know at work, I didn't write them, but at work we have 2 books that are coming out pretty soon that I'm using to make 2 people fight. So if you start seeing my post come up being like, oh man, I wonder who's going to be the winner. Like, so that's,
you're like, I know.
but that will be one thing. And then for myself, I'm trying to write book 2 from Queen's Sword and Silence. So you saw the cover on the website. It was called The Hanged Queen. And I've just decided at some point I need to finish that whole thing, because it was supposed to be a 4-book series. And then too long didn't read. When I broke up with my publisher, I didn't want to write my book anymore. I was like, fuck this shit. Like I'm done. But then I was kind of like, maybe I should, because it was my first book. And maybe if I write the second one, I can show folks that it's not like I grew as a writer. So that's my one goal. And then, with the, I don't know if he's going to let me do it. But I am writing another novel that would kind of come out with the release of Dirty Deeds 1, but I don't know if I get to have it at that point. But it's been writing. I wrote it, so we'll see. That's and awesome. Then I'm probably gonna take it easy, because I have some health things that I have to go through, and I'm probably gonna take a lot of naps for a couple of months. So
I don't blame you. It's only recently where I've been like, because normally when I was younger, if I would take a nap, I would wake up and feel worse than when I first started the nap. And now that I'm a little bit older, I'm like, I crossed that line of 30, but I'm starting to feel it a little bit now. I'm like, I feel better after a nap. I want to take a nap. And now my kids are getting old enough that they're like, we're done with naps, Dad. Sorry, this isn't happening anymore. I'm like, shh.
Yeah, no naps for you. No naps for Kahuna. What do we do? Oh no.
I'll just have to abuse substances. Anyway, Caffeinated Wolf said Sonic mentioned. I gotta shout out Sonic a little bit. Thank you, whoever is responsible for getting those movies going. I never played the games growing up, and I never watched any of the media around Sonic. But my kids love Sonic, and the movie. I feel totally comfortable letting. I've taken my kids to see both of the last 2 movies in theaters without a worry, and they were perfect for kids, and I enjoyed the hell out of them. I think they're really excellent, all ages films, and I'm
the second one made me laugh, because the guy that the sister, or was it the second one? Yeah, the guy that the sister was marrying used to be on CSI Narcs or something like that.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and so it was like they had to do like that tribute there, and I was like, okay, so like, did you do the tribute because you like him, or did he show up and be like, you know what, this movie needs more me doing what I used to
do? or it's like in the third one they have him acting like it's supposed to be James Martin, like Donut Lord's character, disguised as him. He's like, my name is Randall and I'm too much to handle. I'm like, that line is so
That's
funny.
Amazing.
I'm so happy that line made it in the movie.
Dude, the first Sonic was the last movie my son and I went to watch in a theater before lockdowns back in the day.
Yeah, that was right around then.
Yeah. We definitely went to see it, because after they fixed Sonic's face, like, okay, we have to show appreciation with the money. So everybody go and pay.
it's so tricky for me trying to figure out what media to let my children consume and at what age. Like I saw the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1 in theaters, and I'm like, I could almost take my oldest to see this. I think it's a little hyper violent even for him at this
All
age.
of Demon Slayer is hyper violent.
Yeah.
Again, dialogue and fighting.
There you go.
Anime's kind of perfected, like a good anime has perfected that idea of talking during fighting.
You reminded
something
me.
about the animated medium makes it easier somehow.
What did you get reminded of?
The dialogue thing. It keeps things moving. Right? So like you can consider it kind of a cheat code to progress the story. So like let's say you're going through your plan accordingly. You're writing it all, it's all smooth, then you hit like some writer's block, you're like, dang, I don't really know what to do. You can just have people start talking. And as long as there's a reason and, some compelling drama or whatever, even subtle, like a male and female dynamic. Even
I just make something explode. Yeah. That's what I do. I'm like, man, what
there you go.
Explosions.
Stray arrow. There we go. Battle.
I have the perfect example movie for this whole dialogue conversation. You don't need, I got two movies that could work, but I'm going to use this one because it's one of my favorites. One of my favorite films of all time is The King's Speech.
That's
not a lick of action in that movie. Not a single lick to be found. But it is a war film. It is there are battles, and they're all it's verbal and internal jousting. Battles against himself, his own weakness. External battles representing other things, and it's interpersonal dynamics, and it's just such an excellent film.
Yeah, Colin Firth really carried that film.
Yep.
Yeah, no, everybody's acting. Like obviously the two MCs, they carry the film, but everybody did it.
Colin's better because he was Mr. Darcy. Okay, I need you to show your loyalty appropriately. All right. Okay.
Oh Christ!
Jeffrey
Almighty.
Rush, man, no way.
Oh, Jeffrey Rush, his performance as Barbossa. Half of my persona is that, at least. Anyone who's seen me in my videos can tell if you pay attention.
Oh yeah, 12 Angry Men is like the perfect dialogue film. It really is.
That's the animation. Love you, man. That is the other film I was thinking of. Where it's literally 12 guys in a room, and it is gripping from beginning to end.
It's a great talkie film. Yeah, it's a fantastic talkie film.
So this whole idea of the jousting that you said. The characters need to be verbally jousting, whether it's some sort of subtext. You can already imagine, just from me saying that and in the context, some good dialogue that may have popped in your head just from they're talking, but it's this crazy tense scene, because of the subtext, right? That just sounds good. I want to read that story right now. You know what I mean? And you can see how easily dialogue can become pointless if it's not doing any of these things. And it really is kind of it's hard to do bad dialogue because, in a way, think about it. If you're honestly reading it back to yourself, you got to know when it sounds like alien. Do people talk like this?
Not enough. There are even good authors who don't read their dialogue back. You can tell.
This is the point of editors. Yes. And subjective.
There's a really good comedy skit that's done by Eddie Izzard. It's kind of dated a little bit. But he did this beautiful skit where he was talking about the difference between British movies and American movies. And so he's like, in a British movie, you'll be kind of walks into a room. It's like, Sebastian, what are you doing? It's like, well, I'm arranging matches. What about it? Right? And it's like, well, fine, arrange your matches. I'm going, right?
Oh,
but in an American film, it's kind of they go into the room. It's kind of what the fuck you doing? Why are you always doing this? You're always arranging the fucking matches. Yeah, I'm always arranging the fucking matches because you don't arrange the fucking matches. Why don't you get the fuck out? It's like, fine, I will get the fuck out. And gets in the car, drives off, fires a gun.
We know
explosions.
Fires a gun. No, we know more about the American guys than the British guys.
American Harry Potter.
Good writing. That's actually everything you just said, as ridiculous as it sounds, is actually some good
I'm
writing.
not joking. That's the skit.
I know.
I know that's good. It's hilarious.
It's kind of funny though, because like we know they're like angry at each other for some reason. This is an ongoing thing. He's like, "Why are you always doing this? Why
Always
are they so
arranging the matches.
Oh man. Yeah. But yeah, like it just made me. That's what made me start thinking of things like symbolism, though. Is like when you get in these writer's block, keyhole, just pits, where you're like, what do I do with this dialogue? Oh my god, this, and you have to channel it almost. It's like, well, if I'm gonna have dialogue, like for sure, if I know that I need a dialogue scene here to break up some stuff, for example, what's the goal of the scene? And if there's not any sort of obvious goal, what's like a way I can insert this with it still doing some heavy lifting? And that's what brought me to things like symbolism, foreshadowing, these sorts of things. The outline, very handy for this sort of thing too. Let's say you don't even know what you want to happen with your character versus somebody who knows they want their character to be kind of like the bad guy by the end of it. Well, now you can kind of like the entire story be painting that character descriptively as like, kind of like not the best character, maybe even, and it juxtaposes against like wholesome moments too. And it's kind of a cool thing. So that's my whole thing. Cause like it's like, Hey, Larry. Oh, hey, Bob. So how's it going today? Okay. So there's like not any jousting going on there or anything. There's not even any really point to the scene yet that of, but if you start like framing some symbolism in there, now there's actually at least a point. It's foreshadowing stuff. So.
Or you can make it funny. So like, I don't try to talk about my shit all the time. But there's a scene there's a scene in Queens of Swords and Silence where goes and talks to one of her adopted kids, right? And so she's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he's like, "Well, I'm okay. You missed my birthday last week." And she was like, "Oh, like how old are you again?" And he's like, "How do you forget how old I am?" It's like, it doesn't matter after 300. Like, do you want something? Do you want a gift card? Like, what's up?
And it's just like it's a fun conversation. It's funny, and then it's also characterization. A little bit. It's dialogue that's doing 4 or 5 things at once. And that's
characterization is a reason.
Yeah. So, and I guess the only reason I brought that up wasn't to be like, oh, look at me, I'm all smarty party. But it's like if you can take like the mundane stuff as long as it's entertaining, because at the end of the day, your book has to be more fucking entertaining than a latte, because people will buy a latte over your book because they know the latte is not going to be trash.
Dude, you're right. And I was going to say, like, so like even if it seems like pointless dialogue, the point is being funny, and in that humor would be like characterization, like Kahuna was saying. So ironically, is completely a point to that. And so that's why what I was saying earlier, of course it's easy to write bad dialogue, but what I was saying is it susses itself out in a way. Like how wouldn't you notice it as long as you have a little bit of like knowledge of some of these other things going on? Because like it's hard, it's painful for me to write. I'm like, this just sounds bad. I hate myself. I should quit. This is terrible. Reading it back, I'm like, this is lame.
Yeah, if you have like a moment when you're looking at something that you made and you're like, man, I don't like this. Here's a clue. If you don't like it, your audience isn't gonna like it either.
It's lame.
Speeches?
It's lame and gay.
Oh my god.
Well, speeches.
You guys
are
write
hard.
speeches?
Like for me, I have it. I have in several of my stories. I don't have the trick of speeches. I've a couple decent speeches.
There's no jousting.
I don't know how to. I don't know how much like response from the audience, like whoever's receiving the speech, to intersperse throughout the speech.
There's only so many times you could be like. There's only so many times you could be like.
They
and then
oohed
the crowd laughed.
And they all clapped.
Yeah, and then everybody roared with their approval, and then it's just like, oh. This is
Imagine writing a speech for a character and nobody responds. It's a great speech, dude. Nobody cares.
Sometimes just tempted to just do a block of. There you go. Enjoy. Block of text.
Enjoy. Yes.
I take the approach where it's like if a long a long section of monologue doesn't serve the story, then I can develop the character. I can develop the character in other scenes. And if it doesn't serve the story, then it's not going to move the plot. If it doesn't move the plot, people are going to get bored. And because the scenes with long chunks of dialogue or long chunks of monologue, they are oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes they're either so captivating that you don't even blink,
Like
or there's what's that?
Like Ant-Man, like, you know, when they were doing the recap scene of like, oh yeah, and then so and so talked to so and so, and then because it was being recounted by the. Have you seen that in Ant-Man?
Are you talking about like pointless exposition?
The second, you mean the Ant-Man and the Wasp, like the second one?
No, I'm talking about the first one because they were like they had monologue scenes in there that was from
when
the
Michael
one guy.
Pena was like
That's right.
Yeah. Because you're talking about making it captivating, and that was like their shortcut to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but then other times it's like super boring. You just don't even care. And so it's like, if
Avatar, cough.
Yeah. The stuff that's captivating is doing. You think about all the things that it's doing at one time. It's multitasking. Like you're getting characterization, you're getting plot movement, and you're getting
world building. And stuff.
Yeah, you're getting like. I mean, depending on what the story is, you get a lot of stuff, and then that's like that can be a lot. Like that can be very like genre dependent. Like it's just not going to fit everywhere. The worst is like when you have a piece of dialogue that you can tell that you know is shoehorned.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like it's really easy. It's harder for me to pick it up the first time if I'm reading it. I can spot it a mile away in film or TV though. Because you can see how an actor delivers it. And there have been like I actually stopped watching the show over this. It was the show Blacklist. I don't know if you guys ever watched that with James Spader.
Yeah, no, that it went on too long, like every American show. But besides that, very, very good.
Just write an ending. But
that's every American show, by the way. Every single one.
There's a piece from like you have at least one section of dialogue every few episodes starting at season 4 going until I stopped. I don't know how many seasons are left. I stopped watching it I don't even know when I stopped watching it. It's like season 8 maybe, but there would be a scene in there where they're trying to shoehorn the message in with something. It'd be like, and like all of a sudden these actors are having this very mechanical dialogue about it, the thing and the immigration and the racism and the thing. It's like, oh my God, I want to throw the TV out the window. It's so infuriating.
The closest thing I could find to anything like that in Good Will Hunting was the court scene. Literally the whole point of the court scene was not only to like show what like Carrow was explaining earlier, how he is weaponizing his gift for evil, basically at that point, for self-preservation. But the whole point of it was to like the dialogue was exposition the entire time. The judge was like, so you did this violent thing and that violent thing, which led to this string of things, and each time you got out, didn't you? And he's like, yes,
you cite the exact same passage, and I'm kind of done.
Yeah, and that I just told you everything that happened and that you need to know next scene. You know, but yeah, that's not. It's not bad. That's a good scene. There's also several reasons for the scene. But like, there you go, an example of exposition done.
Because that chunk the judge was reading was doing multiple things at the same time.
Yes.
And plus, you got to see Skarsgård's reaction to it. There's a lot going on there, and it's like,
and the jousting, because it's a judge talking to a potentially guilty person, and
then we start arguing with the prosecutor.
Yeah.
It's like, excuse me, I can defend myself. I can defend myself, guy.
Oh, and then there's the subtext.
I'll also pause. AC, that's very generous of you to say potentially guilty member.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of people.
He beat the brakes off of that guy.
Pretty sure he stole that vehicle too that the judge mentioned. I don't know anything about that case, but I'm sure he's guilty.
I feel confident that he probably did it, but was very good at saying he did it.
Yeah. But
he's very good at saying that it's okay that he did it. Oh.
So like the subtext of everything being said in that scene also is doing some even some heavy lifting behind the scenes, because like everything that Matt Damon's character says to everybody else is kind of like a mic drop moment that demonstrates because the lawyer says something, then he chimes in and he's like, no, F you, and then the lawyer's like, I'm a lawyer, and then he's like, no, because of this and this, I'm smarter than you, I'm smarter than you, I'm smarter than you, and then the judge is like, you've been a bad guy for a while, and then he's like, actually this and this, I'm smarter than you too.
It's hard to BS a judge more than once. I'll say that. I've seen it happen.
Mm-hmm. So it was like characterization too. Like we're getting to know the protagonist a little bit. Like he is smarter than these people. Like
he knows it too. That was like his character break moment where he was just kind of like, I am smarter than you. Shut up.
Yeah. And I just showed you. Like I just beat you at your own game. But good expertly done dialogue there. Even in a technically people say don't exposit, but you need to exposit. That's what the whole story. That's what the story is. You're expositing your story.
How well can you camouflage it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like how can you give your reader what they need without doing the 5 pages of like the prelude. Like I can't remember, there was some, I think it was called Talon Sparrow or something. I remember it was Talon. There was a wolf on the cover, and I wanted to give it a shot because I do judge books by their covers, and the cover was beautiful, and I got to like page 2 and then I returned it because
I love picking up a book that I don't know anything about based on a cover or a title. Sometimes
Yeah, they did like long ago in the kingdom of so and so, and all these things, and then like the 500-year war started. I was like, nah, man, I didn't come here for that.
It's like I don't care. Let's move on.
Where's the damsel and the guy that lost his shirt, and she's gonna make sure he stays lost? Like that's what I'm.
Where's a Highland warrior who doesn't wear enough clothing? Yes, where is it?
Is this the time travel Highlander book? Because I'm definitely here for that one too.
Those books are very male coded, by the way. Very good romance. Very easy to read. As a man, I enjoyed those Outlander books. Yes, I did. What was it? Eric Grant. I don't think people dislike exposition. People dislike notice. Yeah, of course.
Yes, truth. Yeah.
And also, there's the other truth that nobody talks about. If it's interesting, then you don't care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could even be direct with it, like freaking beginning of Lord of the Rings. Straight exposition.
Oh yeah, that's what it starts with.
It's straight.
It's got a sensual voice reading it with like really fun graphics, so you feel like you're being kind of like seduced into this world.
Yes.
It's not like somebody. It's not some guy in front of a chalkboard being like, "Okay, so like 500 years ago, there was this thing that happened, and there was a ring, and we lost it because we were retarded."
Or even David Attenborough reading it in just a soft baritone voice. None of that either. It's like long ago in the land of Middle Earth, like, and it's
that
just like you said,
inflection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like a queen is commanding you to watch this fucking.
Well, and it started with Elvish. Like she started speaking Elvish.
It's so cool. So cool. I love that movie. I love the story.
We had our specials a long time ago for all 3 of the Lord of the Rings movies, and it's like you wouldn't think we'd have much to say after about 4 hours of saying it's perfect, but we did. There was plenty there.
Yeah.
I can't remember who I was talking to because we were discussing Lord of the Rings, and I was like, "Yeah, only Tolkien could make 300 pages about walking interesting." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "They literally walk like all the time,
forever." It's like
he knew what he was doing.
Gandalf walked to the hobbits, talked to the hobbits. Hobbits walked to the town, found a dude, walked from town to elves, walked from elves to cave, walked from fought, and oh man, there's some fighting, but then they walked there to this other place.
What movie was that dialogue? It was like the one guy, his favorite thing was Star Wars, and the other guy's favorite thing was Lord of the Rings. And was it Clerks?
Yeah.
I can't remember what movie it was.
Yeah.
It was like, this is what the people in your favorite movie are doing the whole time. Oh, gee, guys, yeah, we're just going to keep going.
We're
Yeah,
gonna keep walking. It's
gonna
time
keep
for
walking.
third breakfast. Let's go.
Yeah.
But can you guys imagine, like, the intro to Fellowship is perfect, but what if it had been read slightly differently?
Mm-hmm. Or even just a different opening, which, I mean, we see that in the subsequent movies, right? Like, there's the famous, the whole like Gollum transitioning into Smeagol.
That is one of the most haunting film openings of all time.
Oh, dude, yeah. I love good dialogue. So, like, yeah, I wasn't kidding earlier when I said, like, Robin Williams, like, literally brought me to tears a couple times. I was like, this is just so powerful. And then especially in the context that he's passed on and everything, some of the stuff that he's saying, him talking about his wife, it's like very powerful stuff. Like, the guy understood the character and stuff like that. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. But, I love a good character. I love some good dialogue. More on the subject earlier, like, pointless dialogue. Like, it's almost impressive to write it, with all this context we've talked about. Because even like Maiden Butler dialogue, which is as shoehorned as it gets,
as
it's
you
doing
know,
something. It's expositing information just in a very shoehorned way.
It could be entertaining,
Yeah.
though. Butler approaches like head maid and be like, "Has the mistress arisen?" It's like, no, she's still in there with the stable boy.
It's like I'm sure they're discussing something very riveting. She was breathless when I saw her last. Yes.
Yeah. See, like.
See, it's not hard to do. It's like let me give this. Let's give Fellowship of the Rings the same treatment I gave Jarrod's story when I read it on stream. The world has changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that once was is lost. For none now live who remember it. Also, Carrow, for context, I used to do a lot more live readings of stories I had not read before, stories from Iron Agers.
Mm-hmm.
And I read his with the understanding that nobody gave me that it was a Western. I think it's because he was making a Western film. I figured the book would be a Western. Well, I read about an hour of that book with a Western voice, with Western, kind of intonation.
It's as classic high fantasies you can get.
It is. And at some point, I'm like, guys, I don't think this is a Western. I remember I slowly realized, like, this ain't right. She walked down the cobblestones as they shot magic out of their hands. I'm like, wait.
But the way you read it made me think it was going to be the start of a supernatural show.
For sure.
You're back.
Yeah. He is back. He has joined us once again. Well, it's like victory was near, but the power of the ring could not be undone. It's great.
What are some of your guys' favorite examples of
making me want to watch that movie now. I went and checked.
Me reading Lord of the Rings with that voice made you want to watch it again.
What was your question?
What are some of your favorite examples of film dialogue?
Oh, film dialogue. Outside of Good Will Hunting.
It's only Good Will Hunting. All other dialogue is garbage. It's terrible.
I have a few examples. Yep.
With Carl Urban.
If my inner
with no cat face the entire time.
I have a weird one. It's partially because I like the story, but
yeah.
I like older language when it's used semi-effectively. Troy. I like some of the dialogue. I like some of the monologues. Some of the I know like it's Homer translated, but whatever. I still like it. All right, and it's different in the film. I do really like some of the dialogue in Troy. I think that movie does a really excellent job communicating ideas with action and dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the kind of dance that the two play in conveying the story, because and some of it comes down to individual characters. Like Achilles, he'll talk, but he's a man of action. Most of the time, he will use his action. His actions will speak louder than his words. And that's just who he is as a character. Same thing with Hector. But then other characters, they'll use the word. Like the King of Troy, he is not a man of action in his he's a man of words. And so he uses the action of going to Achilles and his word, but his words are what convinces Achilles to let him take his son's body, and Mercedes as well. And I like that movie quite a bit. I think that's a fun example of dialogue that I like. Also, it's kind of cheating, but the Count of Monte Cristo, so that too. Also, some of the dialogue in that book is like, you want to talk about monologues? Holy fuck, the monologues in the book are so good.
I love the anime adaptation of the Count of Monte Cristo because instead of deep space, it was like deep space. I went to the deep space and came back changed.
I've heard it's good. I haven't seen that anime though. I do want to watch it.
It's a little quirky. It's got some moments.
I've watched My Girlfriend Is a Gal. I think I can handle it.
No, I mean, like, I guess when I say quirky, it's like when you read the book and you see Japanese take like a take on it. It's got like some moments in there where I'm like, okay, you guys made some decision in the writing room when you were putting this together.
Creative choice freedom was used, and maybe we shouldn't all have creative freedom.
It's like we don't like that ending from the book, so we're just gonna change it. Like,
To be fair, every adaptation I've ever seen of it has changed the ending of that book by quite a bit. Partially because, controversial opinion, it's not very good in the book. The ending is the worst part of the book. Yeah. That being said, I don't think there's been a single adaptation that has really captured the weird otherworldliness feel and like bizarre nature of the Count.
No, this anime adaptation totally does.
Oh, that's see, I want to. That's one thing I haven't seen in an adaptation, so I do have to check that out.
And it's so fun because just like you remember, like in Death Note, whenever Elle was writing letters and it was all dramatic, right? Well, the Count of Monte Cristo always dramatically walks into a room with like his like cloak billowing behind him.
Yes,
that's actually a lot more like the book. The book is like it's zany and weird.
The anime captures that really well. It's just like the ending where I was like, I made some choices. I guess that's okay.
I'm gonna take this potato chip and eat it.
Yeah. Delete.
We make fun of that Death Note for that, but it made him writing words on a piece of paper tense and entertaining. So
yeah,
I make fun of it, but I also acknowledge it was effective.
And again, hey guys, check it out. Subtext. Holy crap. Why is it so intense? He's killing people. Delete. Chip, eat it. He's hiding from the CIA, basically. Right in plain sight doing it.
I also like the idea that this high school kid figures out that it's real and he's horrified, and then 3 days later he has killed thousands.
Yeah. becomes
like, I can fix everyone. Don't worry.
Also, people talk about hating the ending. I don't like how they handled the second half. I think them killing Elle so early on did that story a disservice in some ways. I think controversial. I think it ended exactly as it should have ended. He was an evil man who died a visceral, violent death. I think a pathetic death
too. They really embarrassed Light on the way out on purpose because the guy considered himself a god. So you gotta knock him down a peg, throw him back in the mud with the humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. He should be shown as that. Now, I'm not going to we're not going to watch it, but I do want to share this. My live reading of Morning Glory Milking Farm and everybody's reaction to it graphics is now available on the channel. So feel free to.
I was talking to my my Marine friend about that book, and I was like, no, man, this is a thing. He's like, get the fuck out. And so I sent him the book. But then not only did we find out that Milking Farm was a book, we found out it was one of 5 books. And so what happened was he and I were talking. He was like, we've been friends for a while. You owe me something. I was like, I do. And he was like, yeah, you got to read one of these for me. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. So we were going through it, and so obviously there was the Mimitar one, which is the Milking Farm, right? Okay, so there's that one, and then there's the there is the non-binary ghost one, which is like a voyeur, so that one's there.
Oh my God.
And then there's the one with Mothman, Okay.
I did know about Mothman.
Yeah.
Shout
So
out to Mothman.
there's the one about Mothman, and the other two aren't very interesting because I ended up picking Mothman because I was kind of like, what's he gonna do? Like watch her like in the bedroom scream and run off? Like.
And then she's like intrigued.
I don't know if I should be entranced by your fuzziness or very.
I don't know.
I'll play the. Go ahead.
I haven't found Mothman in the book yet, but I will actually say, like, I was reading through it again. I was expecting it to be like bad smut, and I was like, oh no, this is like grade 8 smut. Like now I'm conflicted.
Damn. I'm gonna play the opening clip from this, but then we'll stop. But it's too good.
What kind of feminist are you?
You can tell me to stop coming to the farm where you're working.
Oh, is that what that is?
I use both hands.
Oh, that's gonna be wild.
It's so perfect. I did as bang up a job editing it as I could. Obviously, the audio is a little jacky wacky, but
that's gonna be like George Takei reading 50 Shades of Grey.
Mm-hmm.
No, you know what's better than that? It's Gilbert Godfrey. What's a butt plug? He ran his hand sensually up my neck. There is an example of him reading that book, and is one of the funniest.
It's really I like the George Takei one more because he was reading and then he would look at the camera every time he would say "oh my" and then like keep reading it.
Oh my!
Yeah, oh my!
Oh my.
Gotta add it. Gotta add that in there.
So yeah, everybody, all of you share that around if you want to scar a couple people. It's pretty good. I read it in the voices. I have images to go with it. All none explicit, not too explicit. But it's a great time. Also, I did at a garage sale pick up the second book in 50 Shades of Grey because I'm curious how bad it is. So
50 Shades of Grey is bad.
Yeah, I know.
When I used to do drunk book review readings, I got so drunk bitching about this book, I fell out my chair.
I didn't know you used to do that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I used to do drunk book reviews, and so basically I would review the book and like drink, and I bitched so hard that 20 minutes into like the review, I fell over.
Are these videos online still?
Yeah, they're still there.
Yes.
Good.
But I did end up
50 grades of B.
Yeah. But I ended up having to I came back and I was like, hey guys, sober me's here because I'm not done bitching about this book.
I came back from home.
I won't go so far as to call him a buddy, but Jeremy Johns, he lives kind of close by to me, so I've talked to a few times, and really cool guy. But his videos talking about those movies are some of his best, and he hates those movies. Like when 50 Shades Freed came out, he had 4 moments of celebration with like confetti and crap and music and stuff. He's like, I'm so happy I'll never have to watch one of these films ever again. So happy.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like just like not even talking about like the sexual stuff. Like the person who wrote this is a complete idiot because you have what the fuck is her name? Anyway, her name is Idiot. So you have Idiot.
No, wait, Carrow. I have a story. I know her name. Her name is Anna, and his name is Christian. Guess how I know?
Because it's
my ex-wife's name is Anna.
Anastasia.
Oh, no.
That's
my
why.
name is Christian.
Oh man,
I'm sorry.
That sucks.
You're the Minotaur in this relationship.
But so like Anastasia is apparently the valedictorian at her college for her English program, right? But apparently she doesn't know how to use email or Google. Like, even at the time when this book was written, you're going to tell me that you don't know how to use Google or email?
That's a pretty key character point, too.
Yeah, and then at one point when she finally got a Gmail because she got a computer, her very first thing she said was, gee golly, I'm on Google.
Okay.
All right, 1950s teenager, let's...
Yeah, and so I was like, this is terrible. Like this is really bad.
Yeah.
And that's within the first 3 chapters.
Yeesh.
Well, that's because it was originally Edward Cullen fan fiction.
Oh yeah, I know.
Those books are also fairly poorly written.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do we expect here?
Definitely not paid for by Google.
Is that true? Is that confirmed? That 50
Yeah,
Shades?
no, that is.
Yeah.
She wrote the first draft on her BlackBerry.
I
Interesting.
hate this timeline.
Yeah. That's crazy. Crazy.
Really bad fan fiction that got enough of a following that a publisher was like, you seem to have possible buyers. Why don't you publish your story with us? And he, whatever they are, was like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. And sure enough, like I got into it with like this one lady. Like I fight with people on this book all the time, and so usually. Normally, when I fight with people on this book, the first thing they say is like, well, you're kink shaming. I was like, none of my fucking points had to do with the kink. My points had to do with how atrocious this writing is. And then when
we
one
should
lady
kink shame, by the way, but continue.
And then they were like, well, I thought the book was really well written. I was like, look, I understand you got your panties wet reading this book and you feel the need to defend it, but it's still a piece of
hard
shit.
to read with one hand. Anyway.
Yeah.
And it was like every time I tell like the women that, they get like extra like flushed and they're like, well, you're just a bigot. And I'm like, no, I'm educated. I'm sorry. I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Harry, you need to lean into it. Yes, I hate women. Moving on.
And I hate feminism. What's new?
Well, who created this whole who thought like slut shaming, kink shaming?
It's like I've gotten into it with people about the Fourth Wing because we did a video about that on my channel a while back. Or was it someone else's? Anyway, we talked about it. I got all my friends to read that damn book. You know why? Because for Christmas one year, I'm like, family, I want books this year. And so my family's like, hey, we're at Costco. What if we bought book 1 and 2 of the Fourth Wing? I own those 2 physical copies of those books. Oh my god, they're not boring, so that's maybe the biggest compliment I could give them, but they're not good. The electric orgasm is not. If I have to read the line, I want to climb in like a tree. One more time. I'm so glad.
I had to explain the plot of that book to my husband, and then he was like, "Okay, so that was it." And I was like, "No, babe, there's more.
There's
like
more.
I'm not done explaining the plot of this book to you."
Oh, and what's worse is that like in the world of like smut writing, there are some good smut writing books out there, well written and such.
Like mine, 99
like
cents
hers.
on Amazon.
99 cents, like me and my shirtless self. Now, but there's a whole mountain range of shitty smut on that people consume.
Romanticizing the COVID virus, boning it with the dino. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. There was one there. Oh, what was it? There was that one with fruit, and it was just like an eggplant with like some garlic or something. You see, you can, something with the like loading up the produce or something like that.
That's only on Amazon. Like Barnes and Noble won't put that shit in their shelf.
They will, and they'll sell it. That's the problem. It's like people didn't acknowledge for a long time. Romance has always been a very good selling genre.
It's
like
the $1 million industry people shame. Yeah.
But now it's like people. It's like tell women that men suck for 20, 30 years. Now this generation's like, we want a manly man, but men suck. So how about we have monsters and kitchen utensils instead?
Well, I mean,
because technology will save us, right?
Yeah, I mean, not that I would encourage you to do so unless you felt the burning desire to go. But if you ever go to like a Barnes and Noble, like go walk in the romance aisle section and take a look at the books that are there. And I guarantee you, not all of those books are basically women looking for, a provider character, right? And even if you read the book and they're kind of like, no, I'm a strong, independent woman and I can do this on my own. It's like, okay, but your character arc is, I can do it on my own, but it's better when I do it with you, right? Like every time.
Yeah,
they tell them themselves all the time.
I also read a book called Alpha Wolf or Wolf. No, it was Wolf Girl, and it's as bad as it sounded, but it's kind of fun to read a really bad book every now and again.
There was one book that Amazon took it down because it had so many bad 1-star reviews. But it was something, I'll have to find the book blurb. It was basically, can MAGA supporter get together with like activist liberal so-and-so? And I was like, is this really like a book? And sure enough, like, I don't even know if they read it. People claim that they read it, but they're like, it's terribly written and, it's insensitive. Because I think they came out with it in like 2020. I thought it was the most hilarious thing ever.
I do have some insight on that. There are an uncomfortable number or amount of blue collar, very conservative leaning men who have an an unnatural level of attraction towards goth-looking women, and most goth-looking women that I've met are very, very liberal, and it's a weird pairing that I've seen far too many times. Too many times.
I mean, you're being realistic about it. Like, I'm telling you, this book was like so comically bad. Like,
I kind of want to read it now. I need to find a woman willing to read the woman parts. I'll read it in Trump's voice for the man parts. She can read it in whatever, any female voice, and it'll be perfect.
Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, because I'll read it to you.
Please find it. Please find it.
You said woman parts.
I did say woman parts.
So anytime the word has to do with the woman part, the woman has to read it, and you can read the rest of the sex. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I think that's what we got.
Okay.
Sadly, smut man. Yeah, no. My favorite coffee girl. She's a big reader like me, but she reads almost exclusively romantasy, and she reads like twice the amount that I read. Ayo, are you lonely, my friend? I'm just curious.
I found it. Okay, because I sent it to one of my other friends. Let's see. So excuse me, I might have a speako. When Patriot Mike rescues feminist Ricky from the post-Trump rally riot, the clash of opposites sets the sparks between them. But the gentleman giant refuses to leave the side of the spunky half pint until he and his pickup truck deliver her home safe and sound. Ricky attends the rally to scoop the racism of the Trump crowd into a blog post, but she's forced to spin a false narrative when her mistaken assumptions fail to materialize. When Ricky's lies get Mike doxxed and his construction worksite becomes the target of anti-fascist thugs, his righteous anger forces her to reckon with the truth. Ricky wants to fix the damage and regain Mike's trust, but that means facing the wrath of the liberal mobs. Will Ricky find the courage to leave the left for a lifetime of old-fashioned true love?
Oh,
some buzzwords.
I kind of want to read how bad this. I kind of want to read this.
Which way was this book leaning?
I don't know.
It kind of sounds like it's leaning conservative, and that's
I know
that's a little concerning for me.
It sounds like a conservative incel fever dream.
Yeah,
there's
like I really want.
There's a hot crazy liberal chick.
Yeah,
I can fix her.
Yeah.
It's like no, you can't, bro.
Also, why is it that everyone who talks about like goth women or emo girls, it's like big titty goth girl? I'm like, I get it, but what's wrong with the petite ones? I like petite women. I've always liked petite women.
Okay, so it's called Ladies First MAGA Hat Romance Book. There's if you really want it, there's one paperback for $8.
$8? You know, fuck it, I might buy it. It's like a coffee, dude. I can afford that.
It's had 196 reviews and it's sitting at 2 stars with 72% of them at 1 star.
Perfect. Wow. Perfect. God gives us gifts. This may be one of them.
Here, I'll put it in the private chat for you so you can get it.
Thank you. That
I'm helping.
We can share.
The world is healing, people, and I'll prove it with this book.
Here, we'll share it with the chat too. Enjoy.
Well, they might buy it from you.
Yeah. Wait,
if you buy the book, you have to share it with us, guys, because it's the only one. It says only one left. Okay.
There's only one. Yep.
Yeah.
Also, don't buy Carrow's book. Definitely buy this book. No, I'm kidding.
Delete it. Delete it. No danger anymore. My bad.
No, it's okay.
I didn't realize there was like one in stock. And all
Sheldon, you got me to read that, you son of
a. I got you.
You got him.
It's like, how's it hanging, Harry? Short, shriveled, and always to the left. Anyway, I adore early Jim Carrey, and Liar Liar is underrated. It's maybe one of his best comedies. Anyway, transition, guys. We've been going for a long time, and I have work tomorrow that involves getting up on a roof. So I'm ready to start wrapping it up here.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a fun conversation. We've gone a lot of different directions, got a lot of good conversation in here, and it was fun hearing about some of your writing, Carrow, because I knew you'd written books, but I didn't really know very much about them. So this is a fun conversation. Thank you for sharing
Yeah, you're
Hey,
welcome.
wait, did you guys see her click that button? You see that dog?
No, I was checking on him because he's an old boy and his hips don't work very well.
on him. No.
Good boy.
No, he's a good boy though. He's just like,
Aw.
Mama, it's time for sleep. I'm gonna take a nap. Wake me up when it's time for bed.
Speaking of like storytelling devices and tools and stuff, Hassan really kicked the dog publicly with all that shock collar bullshit. That's
I
one way,
know.
like, created a villain overnight. He was
Oh,
already
yeah.
a villain, but
When I watched the clip for the when it first got discovered on Twitter, I was like, I thought a lot of things, but one of my first thoughts was like, Katie's gonna be so mad about this.
I just mentioned something happening with the dog, and she got stressed out right away. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. No. I was trying to tell you about the justice. The justice that took place after the fact, where everybody's like pissed off at him now. But you're right. It's a downer.
But AC, we'll start with you, my friend. Any last minute plugs of the non back end variety you'd like to share?
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
I love when I get a line in that gets like it shuts people down for a couple of seconds.
I just had to process it. I had to pass it, so to speak. But yeah. So okay, my band is #1 in the United States on Groover's Breakthrough Artists in the rock and punk genres. It's #2 in the United States in general for Breakthrough Artists, and #16 in the world. So
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I figured I would share this quick, and this will just be my plug. Go follow my band, Empty My Lungs, wherever you can find it. YouTube's probably the best. Play us on Spotify.
Empty my lungs.
If it'll play. Hide this. It was blocking.
Groover's turn. Is this supposed to be playing music? Hello? AC, is it supposed? Oh no, did he break? Oh no, he's paused.
The feds got him.
No, they shut him down.
The feds froze him up again. He's been fed froze.
They hear me read that book blurb, and they're kind of like, "Oh, he's really into it. We got to stop him."
The MAGA women, women. The MAGA men are coming for our women. AC, was that supposed to be playing the song out loud?
It was playing the song out loud, but it wasn't intended to because it's copyrighted.
Don't worry, we didn't hear a thing.
That's fine. No, that's fine. That wasn't the intent. Yeah.
Okay, good.
But it was blaring in my ears, and I glitched out, so I don't know what the fuck you guys were saying. I hope the video played at least.
The song is so powerful it stole his internet for the while it played, and now he has returned. But Carrow, what about you? Any last minute plugs for any of your upcoming projects or any Rip Reverse stuff? Anything you want to shout out? If you want to shout out a new haircut, go ahead. You're free.
I have a new haircut. It's pretty fresh. We have a thing coming out tomorrow. If anybody is interested to check it out on the Rippaverse website. I can't tell you what that thing is, but it is a creative focus thing. So that's what
as a thing. It's happening.
Yeah. We are not giving you a thing. It's a thing that we're hoping that we will see from you, if that makes any sense.
It's money. No.
I mean, I do like money. It's true. Other than that, that's pretty much it. And SpaceCon, if anybody happens to be in San Antonio, I'll be at SpaceCon this weekend. But I think that's going to be it for me creatively for the rest of the year.
Well, thank you for sharing. Now, Jarrod.
Yeah, if you haven't done it yet, go to Amazon or Tubi or Madness Entertainment Group over on Roku and watch my film, Missouri Breaks, about Missouri Bill. Check that out, please. It helps us a lot. It helps me a lot when you do that. And then we have a production meeting this Thursday, and we will start shooting the trailer for the next one in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. We'll get the date down.
I'm so excited.
And so, yeah, there'll be a new trailer coming soon. So be on the lookout for that because I need your help. I'm going to need your help fundraising for this film if we're going to be able to get it done. And
we've put together a great campaign. I will be shirtless. This has been promised. We'll be there.
Yes. The script for this one is really good. Like it's really good. And I wish I could tell you guys about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a very dark film. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, go check out Missouri Breaks Ballad of Missouri Bill, and then stay tuned for the trailer coming up for the new film. And I will tell you more about that as it comes.
For me, I've been reading and watching a lot of romance anime and manga, and so I have a whole bunch of scripts and stuff and like video content I'm putting together for that right now. So prepare to hear a man in his early 30s talk about stories designed for young women. It'll be great.
Carrow, thank you for coming, hanging out and riding the absurd waves of absurdity that we are prone to stir up here.
It was great. It
really
was
took
good.
the bull by the horns.
No, I didn't read that book.
Yes,
I did though.
She got it though. She got it, man. He didn't miss a beat. She was.
I know. I told Royce that, and he's like, "What do you mean? What is this? Oh, it's
no, Royce isn't gonna get that one.
No,
he's warning He's warning his wife about it. I'm like, she'll be fine. You're the one I'm concerned about.
Speaking of Royce and our barbecue, that got vaguely mentioned earlier. I'll be within like an hour of Royce pretty soon here by the end of the month.
Yeah, you got a new
Moving
place,
states.
man. It's gonna be sick. I'm excited for you guys.
I'm gonna go bug him.
I might invite myself over to his house again next year. I was like, I think I'm just gonna go bug Royce next year. I'm just gonna show him, be like, "What's up?"
What if we all plan
bug him.
not with him, just we all show up, like 40 people?
No, we have to because he's got kids.
I know. I'm joking, but it'll be fun. It'll be funny.
Sorry, I'm a responsible adult in the room.
Yeah,
you're right.
I will.
Just
be
to be
there
clear,
the
no
next time.
threats are being made unless it's against me.
It was really chill, but I look forward to more for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
What were you gonna say, sir?
I was gonna say I will be there the next time.
Yeah.
I think he wanted
missed
to,
it.
but you
Yeah.
were one of the ones who couldn't be there for some reason.
Yeah.
Herman too. He wasn't able to show up, which is a shame. I wanted to.
We
make
had
fun
to
of
shoot.
the person. Yeah, that's right.
We had to shoot.
Good reason.
The first one. Yeah.
Good reason. Yeah.
And I think that's all, guys. I'll do our outro and we'll call it there. Bam, bam, bam.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on the Iron Seas. See you next Tuesday at 6:30 PST. We will talk about bowls and other fun films. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Woo!